It is the finale of Super Saturday from Edmonton, where it is a rematch of the Battle of Alberta. The Elks got the best of their provincial rivals on Labor Day Monday, looking to make it 2 straight in front of their biggest home crowd so far this season. Raise a glass. It's the Elks and the Stamps coming up on TSN. Career game where he threw for 486 passing yards and 3 TDs. MBT, the top-graded QB for week number 13, hoping the momentum continues in front of these home fans tonight. Dave Dickinson, he saw enough of Jake Maier after he threw 4 INTs last week, opting to go with this man, Logan Bonner, tonight, making his first ever CFL start. It has been a Super Saturday here at TSN. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba, Jim Barker, Milt Stiegel, 2 football games. Oh, it just wasn't enough. So you know what? We've got a third in store. It's the Battle of Alberta once again. We just saw Bonner there, Coach, and this is why we bring you in. You know so much about these players. Give us a little insight on who we're going to see.
Well, he's from Utah State. He's a solid player, but these kind of moves, when you decide and your quarterback's healthy and you just decide you're going to make a change, rarely work out. They usually blow up on you. But again, he's a solid player. He's only thrown 13.
So we know nothing.
He's only thrown 13 passes.
When you hear somebody say he's a solid player, you know much about him. I mean, Dave Dickinson, he's desperate right now. You know this. He's desperate. Jake Maier couldn't get it done.
Their team's been boring, too.
They've been bad, boring. Even when they were winning, they were boring. So this was a desperate move, but he has nothing to lose because Jake Maier couldn't get it done.
We always say this is a good problem to have. When we look at the situation in Edmonton, well, this is not the type of problem you have. You bring in a guy that nobody knows anything about, really, and you say, hey, look, let's see what you got. But I'll tell you what, this Edmonton defense is going to be licking their chops, especially in that front four, to see what this young man has.
If Jim knows nothing about it,
oh, my goodness.
Let's play 13 snaps.
Yes, but Jim, you know something about everyone.
You know what's about the backup long snapper.
You know
where he went to college, where he went to high school, where he played Pee-wee football. It just doesn't matter. You know what's great, too? We were looking for tickets this afternoon at Commonwealth Stadium. Legitimately, this is by far the best crowd in Edmonton. They're going to be rocking today, so that's not going to help the Stamps at all. We will get you there right after this.
Turn and burn! It's Saturday night in Edmonton! Battle of Alberta, let's go! Hell yeah!
Oh, we couldn't have said it any better ourselves. Welcome to Edmonton, Part 3, Super Saturday. And, of course, it's with Part 2, Battle of Alberta, the traditional rematch in Edmonton between the Elks and the Stampeders after they met on Labor Day Monday. And Edmonton looking to sweep this home and home for the first time in 20 years, Matt. Calgary quarterback Jake Maier struggled at McMahon on Monday. So Dave Dickinson making a change at QB, going with Logan Bonner.
Yeah, and I think that might have caught the country by surprise. But the broadcast team, TSN, we're pretty close to things here. And, yeah, something had to change because Dave Dickinson's not happy. That young man, Logan Bonner from Utah State, is a gunslinger. We're going to watch him sling it around today and try to figure the game out. McLeod Bethel-Thompson, he's got it figured out. In fact, he had his best career passing game last week. Well talked about, 486 yards through the air, really settling in. He's on a little bit of a roll, and this Edmonton Elks team is happy to have him.
Jarius Jackson He took over the Elks head coaching job after Chris Jones was fired after an 0-5 start. Lost a couple of games, but since then 4-1 in his last 5, including that victory over the Stampeders and Dave Dickinson, trending the other way, hence that change, and 0-5 on the road this season as well. And really, this season has been the biggest challenge so far for Dickinson, who's had that head coaching job since 2016 in Calgary. The Stampeders won the toss. They deferred, so Edmonton wants the ball. Part 3, Super Saturday underway here at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. And it's Gavin Cobb on the return and upended there by Nick Stats, inserted into the lineup after a return of 17 yards. As on comes McLeod Bethel Thompson. 486 yards, Matty, throwing last week.
Yeah, and took care of the football. And I think that's first and foremost as you look at this football team. They're doing outstanding in the turnover ratio and their turnaround. It's key. That's typically a big-time factor in winning football games in this league. And McLeod Bethel Thompson took care of it last week incredibly well. And see if he can keep it going here this afternoon.
This is a different-looking team right now. Winning those games and trying to do it again, handing off left side. And of course, the running attack has really been good for Edmonton this year as well. It is Javon Leake and a pickup of 5 yards.
Yeah, as they go over the Ivy's left side of left tackle, I highlighted Brett Boyko at right tackle because I think it starts up front with all those big men, and they are big, and they've been paving the way for their 3 running backs by committee as of late and dominating the line of scrimmage. You got Javon Leake has been doing it, and really a breakout season for him at that position. And Tavon Jones, oh my goodness, this guy's been on fire. And last week he went off for 208 yards.
Tavon Jones, they only started throwing to him about 5 games ago. He has been on fire, averaging 27.5 yards per reception.
That's just insane.
That's crazy. So it's a 2nd and 5 after that 5-yard pickup by Leake. Faking the handoff. Bethel Thompson's nearly picked off. Oh, Cameron Judge had it right in his hands, and he knows it as it drops down in a 3rd down for the Elks.
Yeah, and this is one that he was dreaming about all weekend long. He's going to move to his left and read McLeod Bethel. He knows where the sticks are and watch him. He undercuts this, and all you got to squeeze it and just jog to the end zone. And whew, man, the Elks, McLeod Bethel Thompson got away with one right there.
So Edmonton fortunate to have the chance to punt this away with Jake Julian, consistently one of the top punters in the Canadian Football League. This season, he is 2nd right now in net punting, and it's Peyton Logan who will be back for it. And a booming punt, and it takes a roll and into the end zone, and Logan will chase after it and make sure Julian doesn't quickly track it down. So they give up the point right away. A 72-yard punt for the one who leads the CFL in base punting at over 53 yards per punt. But that's a huge one. And Logan Bonner, his first CFL start coming on now for Calgary.
Yeah, and I'm excited to watch this kid slinging around because there's really no fear. Prior to this game and throwing as the starter of this football team his first pass. We'll see how it goes, but I'm excited to watch him sling it because he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, went to college at first Arkansas State and then transferred to Utah State where he had a couple of tremendous years, especially in 2021. Here he is in the CFL, moving on to his left. Clark Barnes has it. First pass, it is caught. Cornell Jackson taking him out, but a pickup of 11 yards for Clark Barnes and a 1st down for Calgary.
Yeah, and looking at the offensive line, that has been just decimated due to injury. Saxley draws in for Bryce Bell, who wants to move to the 1-game injury list, and then they get a little help in the run game now. Dietrich Mills is back in the lineup after a 4-game suspension and dealing with some personal issues. And Reggie Bagleton, what can I say about him? He's their #1 star, and they got to ride him today.
Had been Kylan Hill in the backfield for Calgary last week. So Dave Dickinson making that change with Dietrich Mills back. And Mills has the ball. This is his 7th game this season. As Matty talked about, he took some leave from the team for personal reasons, but back in, it's Elliott Brown on the tackle there.
Yeah, and that's perfect time. I got this kid highlighted, one of Jonesy's kids that he brought here over the last 3 years, and he's a talent now, 6'5", 240, and he's a rangy kid in the middle. You got Morgan, 4th-year player from Notre Dame, who leads the league in tackles, and outstanding job he's doing in the middle. And the back end, you got another veteran back there, Lucius Purifoy, that has been roaming it and doing a really good job. He's got three picks on the season, and he'll be communicating back there and trying to make this young man's job a lot harder this afternoon.
Lost a couple of yards, so it's a 2nd and 12. Bonner, and he's 2 for 2 so far. Reggie Bagel Edmonton 35.
Yeah, and this gives you an idea of this kid's fear factor, and is minimal, and he's staring it right down the face and throws a dart. And Woody's message to his teammates was just to stay active, stay live, man. You never know when the ball's coming your way, and that's exactly what quarterbacks want, is everybody live, and certainly Reggie Bagleton understands that for a 25-yard completion.
Bagleton, 64 straight games with at least a catch. Back to Mills on the ground. He finds an opening and he pulls his way through and picks up 11 yards. Good work there by Dedrick Mills back in the Calgary lineup.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you the, just the play action, the feet of Logan, and something he says he likes to work on. And little point fake there, and pops his hips, kind of freezes the defense, opens up some things up front, and and Mills says, yeah, I'll take that. First contact's about 7-8 yards downfield, and he just staples an elk to the turf, and it's a good start for the Calgary Stampeders.
Peyton Logan had been filling in at running back after Mills left, and Kylan Hill has mentioned before, but Mills back, first down, Edmonton 25, back to him right side, this time nothing. In fact, another loss of yardage. Noah Curtis in there, and so too is the leading tackler of Edmonton, Niles Morgan.
Well, he read that one beautifully, and he scraped along with Mills, and Bonner would have liked better production. Doesn't like these 2nd and 10s, particularly when you're making your first start, but you gotta like what you see with this kid. And Jake Mayer, different viewpoint for the young man on the sidelines. 38 straight starts. He went 16-22 in those starts, and hence the move to young Logan Bonner.
2nd and 10 now. The Edmonton 25 after no gain. Throwing again. Short one, but his receiver, Jalen Philpott, was falling down as the ball arrived, so it goes incomplete, and it's a 3rd down, and it looks like Rene Paredes will be coming up to put the Stampeders on the board. Is he trying to?
Yeah. Rene just needs one more point, and he'll surpass the all-time great Dave Cutler right here. Everybody knows Cuddy around here. These parts, we saw him last week, Victoria. He's tied for 8th all-time scoring leader in the Canadian Football League with Dave Cutler, and he pounds this one through or gets a single.
Isn't it fitting? It's in a stadium that Dave Cutler knew so well. Star here with Edmonton for so many years. Rene Paredes does it again. Another field goal for that veteran to pass Dave Cutler now on the all-time points board. So back to McLeod. Bethel Thompson had a big game on Monday on Labor Day. Trying to do it again here with his Elks trailing by 2. McLeod Bethel Thompson with a single season high in the CFL for passing yards in a game. 486 at McMahon last Monday, Matt.
Yeah, and this is what we've seen from McLeod Bethel Thompson. Certainly the arm talent to get the job done, make any throw on the field. And they were just picking apart secondary and really going after that back end of the Calgary Stampeders. He fed off of them last week.
Certainly did with Tevin Jones. Had a couple of big touchdown catches for Edmonton. So back the Elks with the ball and still on his feet. Won't go down easily as Javon Lake as he breaks it up across for a 7-yard pickup for the Elks.
Yeah, Mike Rose, I lauded Mike because he's a veteran. He needs to step up, short week, come up here and try to get a first road win. It's going to be tough to do. Second level, linebacker Brendan Dozier, 100th ball game here. Kid's got an incredible career, and he was picked on a little bit last week. And you got a rookie on the back end making his 3rd start in Ben LaBrose, kid from McGill, super talented athlete. See if he can't figure it out, help slow down that Edmonton receiving.
On the 2nd and 3 and running it is Leak again, who finishes off what he started. First he had 7, then he picks up 4 or 5 more. It is a first down for Edmonton up near midfield.
Yeah, when McLeod Bethel Thompson's on a little bit of a heater right now, I think he could say. Certainly last week accentuated that. These are his last 3 games, and yeah, that's pretty solid right there. And the biggest thing is no turnovers and some victories there. So that is exactly what this football team and franchise were expecting at the beginning of the year, and come to fruition right now under MBT's leadership.
Remember, he'd been benched for Trey Ford, then Ford got hurt, so McLeod got back in, and he's really making the most of it. And he had some good starts, Matty, before he was replaced by Ford.
No question, but they were losing some close games.
Yeah.
And you look at Bo Levi Mitchell and Hamilton. He's had some great starts, just wasn't winning those games. And McLeod Bethel Thompson, the same situation. Veterans that handled their demotions basically with class and dignity and never blinked when they got the opportunity to come back and lead the team.
And that's something that Dave Dickinson is hoping Jake Mayer is taking note of.
Yes.
He's benched. It's interesting, the top 3 passers in the CFL right now have all been benched.
Yeah.
McLeod Bethel Thompson was, Bo Levi Mitchell was, and Jake Mayer for this game.
Rod, I've been pulled in the Grey Cup game before that, and that's smarts.
Deep over to the right. Yeah, but you ended up doing okay. I was going to say, you bounced back from those things, right? Incomplete pass.
Well, you have to be resilient. I mean, you get knocked down a bunch of times in this game, whether it be interceptions or losses. It happens. And you have to have a short-term memory to move from it, and it's a life period, right? It's pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on. And we've seen quite a bit of that this year.
Jake Julian back again. Last time out, he had a punt single, over 80 yards on that, deep into the Stampeders zone. He's standing at his 36. Peyton Logan is back, but he can really boom it. Another beautiful punt. Takes a hop, goes in again. Jake Julian, 1 point at a time, is doing all the Edmonton scoring early in this game. They get to within a goal, a point, I guess. 3-2 the score, Calgary, early on at Commonwealth. Mentioned Logan Bonner finished his collegiate career at Utah State, where he had one of the greatest seasons any Aggie quarterback there has had. Look at the names on the board. Jordan Love, Anthony Calvillo as well. Let's go down and say hello to Ryan Rashad.
Yeah, Rod, loved to throw the football. 300-400 throws a year. When he was a kid, his dad, Bain, ran skills camps and was chucking the ball nonstop, and it definitely translates. He loves to throw it. Now, Dave Dickinson was telling us when he decided to go with Bonner that he just had something that only certain quarterbacks have. They can find the guy. Not always the obvious guy, but they just have a way of finding guys. And that's why, as Matty talked about earlier, his message to his receiving corps, everybody is alive every single play. Even if you're not the first or the second or the third option, be ready. This is a quarterback that loves to throw it and can find guys, and so far so good, Rod.
And Ryan, we talked to him about Utah State's quarterback pedigree. Of course, Jordan Love, who he got to know, he actually replaced there. And we reminded him of Anthony Calvillo and his place in the history of the CFL.
Yeah, didn't have, to the young man's defense, he didn't know who he was.
He'd heard that there was a great quarterback in Utah State.
But didn't know Anthony, and that's just the separation of generations. But at the end of the day, he smashed his records at Utah State, and this kid can sling it. I love the fact that everybody's live on every play.
Well, coming across nicely. Good hands, Reggie Begelton, to catch that in the pickup of 9. But yeah, here's some video evidence of his time as a Utah State Aggie in that great year in 2021. Single season records for the school in passing yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, and just a testament to his dad coaching him ever since he was little and could throw a football. He said he was throwing sticks and he was working 7-man camps and absolutely just figuring out the art of throwing the football. And this guy right here, Tommy Stevens, tip of the cap to him because they bypassed him as a second team guy, which he's a short yardage guru. We know that. And they went to Logan Bonner because of those skills that we just saw there at Utah State and what he's displayed here in the early going in the first quarter.
So Bonner comes back in after Stevens does what he does so well, picks up what they need to get the first down. They're up across their 50. Bonner's 3 for 4 for 44 yards so far. But let me ask the quarterback. Looks pretty confident standing back there and slinging.
Yeah, particularly when you got to get somebody bearing down on you right up the middle and throwing a completing a dig to Begelton on the first drive. That was impressive.
And on the handoff, Dietrich Mills.
But you need to have confidence.
Peyton Logan, the running back. Sorry, Matty.
Yeah, no worries there. You got to have confidence, and this kid's got it in spades. And I think that's what attracts Dave Dickinson to him. What he's seen in practice, how he's finding guys that just typically other quarterbacks may not be able to get to or have the ability to push the ball in there. This kid does. We'll see how it plays out the rest of this game. But Dave and company needed a little spark.
That's exactly what he said. Looking for a spark from Logan Bonner. Looking deep. Down the rail, coverage is there. Flag is out. Intended for Begelton. And it is Kai Gray who looks like he's going to be called for pass interference.
Pass interference, Edmonton, number 5. Spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Yeah, and you saw a bit of the arm strength coming out. Here he is right here. Watch him do his thing down the football field. And a lot of what, you know, you got to have the ability, as far as I'm concerned, to throw deep balls different ways. Sometimes you got to stick it in there 45, 50, 55, 60 yards, and other times you got to put air on it. That time he tried to stick that one in there, and pretty tight coverage by Gray, but he was caught. You can see him kind of jostling there with his right arm, slowing Stapleton down.
A 41-yard penalty to take it down to the 22 of Edmonton. Big crowd here at Commonwealth today. They don't like it. Throwing, it's caught inside the 10. Just as Bonner was getting hit, he got rid of it. And it was caught there by Clark Barnes, and looks like...
And, you know, things happen quickly down there, and I'll show you just how quickly they happen. Heat in the kitchen, takes one in the chin as he completes that pass, and he's like, oh, man. And I think he was actually trying to go to his intercom system, his helmet, to get on to the next play. That's how locked in he is.
First and goal, takes the handoff, Bonner. End zone, intercepted. Picked off by the Elks. Lucas Purifoy. He was waiting for it. Bonner says, my bad. Purifoy says, that's my 4th interception of the season. They snuff out this promising Calgary drive when they were down inside the 10. Edmonton football in a 3-2 Calgary game.
Yeah, and this is how it plays out. Veteran free safety, Lucas Purifoy says, not today, and he's right here, and he's going to give it to him. He's going to go to his left, and then he's going to feather back in the area that Bonner thinks is open, and the ball was poorly thrown and underthrown, and never had a chance, and that's Lucas's 4th interception this year, 23rd of his career, and Dave Dickinson says, son, get used to it. It's going to happen in the Canadian Football League, trying to figure this game out.
Purifoy had 2 interceptions on Monday in the first meeting between these two. So Edmonton ball, it's Kevin Brown, the running back, and he takes that short pass and gets it up to the 35. He's had reason to celebrate lately, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's a veteran back there. He's taking full advantage of the youth, and this is how good the CFL quarterbacks have been this season. This is in the red zone. That was just the 5th interception thrown in the red zone, and it's by a rookie, making 6, 5 previous to that, and quarterbacks have been pretty red hot in that zone.
2nd down and 5 now after that pickup by Brown. That one, the intended receiver, falls incomplete.
Yeah, a quick 2 and out.
Quick 2 and out.
Yeah, that's exactly what you needed right there. Don't let them get any momentum and turn it over. It's a good 2 and out for Calgary. Doesn't look like much. Yeah, give a chance for the young quarterback to get back out there.
That's the 2nd 2 and out, and Jake Julian, the 2 times he's punted today, they've both been punt singles. He's been booming. This time, though, from his 25, so you would assume this time Peyton Logan's going to get a chance at a return after a 55-yarder as he skirts around and picks up a few extra yards before he is bumped out. So Calgary football, and Logan Bonner will be heading back on. Lots of tailgating going on. Hey, they sold out the lower bowl, over 30,000 fans. Great atmosphere here for part 2 of this Battle of Alberta, which will continue right after this. 19th, and it's only on Craig. Commonwealth Stadium, mentioning Maddie, great atmosphere. I mean, it's one of your old home parks, but it's nice to see the atmosphere they're getting today for this
rivalry. See it rocking once again.
Calgary football, last possession, they moved down the field. They got into a goal to go, and then Logan Bonner was picked off by Lucas Purifoy to leave them with nothing to show for their drive.
That's Mills, and you got to figure he's got some fresh legs. Just don't know what type of shape he's in, what he was doing with that time off, but solid run there for about 6 yards, and putting the young quarterback in second and manageable, which is favorable to him.
Cam Eccles inserted in the lineup tonight for the injury to another Stampeder receiver. That's Mills on on the carry. Ish Hyman, I meant to say, was the injured receiver. That's why Eccles was in. But Mills, another carry and another good pickup for Calgary.
Yeah, just running up the left side, and there's going to be nice holes there. Just going to get up, and he picks up 9 here. There's the zone. Little jump cut there. As you see, big. Open, overplaying the play. He's washed out. Jump cut in there for 9 yards. Nice job by Stamps.
Coming across. Broken play, and Mills is trying to make something of it. It was Mark and Michelle in motion, and the shotgun snap hit him, but alertly, Mills managed to pick up a yard or 2.
Yeah, and it was all botched. He's right here, and he's going to go in motion late. Ball snapped, and he tries to do his best Batman imitation and try to jump over the top, and ball deflects off of him right into Mills' hands, fortunately, and they got away with one right there. That, I don't think, was designed that way. In fact, I know it wasn't.
So it happened on a first down, so they have a 2nd and 8, and a deep look down the middle for Begelton. Just stretches just a bit too far. Falling incomplete. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah. A lot of times you'll have offensive coordinators, head coaches with young quarterbacks, and they'll try to reel them in and kind of control them. And you're not seeing that here in the first quarter play with Dave Dickinson and his young quarterback. He's letting them eat and sling the ball down the field, and he just missed Begelton right off his fingertips right there.
And with that, Calgary will have to punt for the first time in this game as Cody Grace is in, and Dylan Mitchell, the lone returner, back for Edmonton. A low-scoring 3-2 game, late first quarter. Mitchell at the Edmonton 15 and works it across to about the 23. 22 seconds on the clock, and Bethel Thompson coming back on.
Yeah, we talked about Julian's leg and how he can pound it. So can Cody Grace. We're blessed with kickers, punters, deep snappers. Teams in this league are special and rightfully named.
Yeah, Grayson, 3rd year in the league, and he had the distinction of being the top in net bunting.
These
couple of years ago.
I mean, directionally, and so many guys can do it so many different ways, too. Makes coverage units a lot easier.
Kevin Brown, the running back, pushing it up to about the 29 for Edmonton. So we're heading down to the end of the first quarter. A 6-yard gain for Kevin Brown.
Yeah, tip the cap to Jarius Jackson on the sidelines. Not only was he tapped on the shoulder to be the new head coach, but he's still calling plays down there, like a lot of head coaches in the Canadian League. Have done that, but when you're used to being up in the booth and you're down on the sidelines managing the whole team and the offense, it can be a little much, but he's been handling that job and that extra responsibility without a glitch.
Named the interim head coach after Chris Jones was fired after an 0-5 start. They did lose their first 2, and they've really been turning it around, winning 4 of their next 5. It's Brown finding his way through again. He found a hole. He made it work. Gets it up near midfield on that last play of the first quarter with a 21-yard pickup for Kevin Brown. And that is quarter time. Only 5 points on the board. Points off the board and a turnover in the end zone when Calgary was driving. And there's another chance that got away from the Stampeders. Edmonton down. Thankful to be down by just a point as we get set for quarter number 2. Through one quarter, Calgary has a field goal. Edmonton has a couple of punt singles, so low scoring. But the numbers, Matty, don't always tell the real story. The Stampeders have certainly had their chances to open this game up.
Yeah, we saw Cam Judge drop a gimme, probably a pick 6 if he squeezes out one. And then we saw an interception in the end zone by Lucius Purefort taking points off the board. But early on, the Calgary Stampeders, and those stats prove it, have dominated the first quarter. The score is flattering for the Elks. And but it's a good sign. 6 yards passing the first quarter for MBT. They need to do more of this, in my opinion, run the football. And you saw some success there with the off-balance formation and press the hole and then bounce back. And Kevin Brown doesn't miss many of those.
He was the second leading rusher in the CFL last year. And now it's more of a triple threat. They brought in Javon Lake for special teams, but he's been a really good running back. And they have Justin Rankin waiting in the wings as well. Here's Bethel Thompson deep, right, caught, first down and more for Hergy Mayala. Down the right side, into the end zone for the Edmonton touchdown. 60-yard pass and run. McLeod Bethel Thompson to Hergy Mayala as the Elks have their first lead of the game.
Yeah, you give it to him, Rod, with the off-balance set right there. They just had success with running the football there. A little point fake. Gives McLeod Bethel Thompson a clean pocket. He finds Mayala. Mayala says, "Get off of me." And he races to the end zone. So that 6 yards in the first quarter by McLeod Bethel Thompson is instantly improved on in one throw here in the second quarter. And they find the end zone and the momentum is shifted.
Well, Hergy Mayala, who started his career with Calgary, has really found a home here in Edmonton this year. That's touchdown number 5. He had only 2 catches for 16 yards on Monday and Labor Day, but already one big one for 60 yards. And they will go for 2 in a 5-point difference, see if they can make it 7 points. So Bethel Thompson staying on. And there they go. They scrimmage into the end zone. They get it too. Put more points on for the Elks. 2 more. Eugene Lewis with that 2-point conversion. And now they're up by 7.
Yeah, and absolutely love what I'm seeing on that series and the play call by Jarius Jackson, putting his players in good situation. You see the dominant front over here. They had success. Little point fake off the top, and you're gonna look. And you're gonna look right there. There's Serge Mayala. He's gonna run a corner route. Point fake just kind of freezes everybody. Got a clean pocket. Taking the top off with the post on the Z receiver, and then boom, Mayala breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races. An easy pitch and catch to Eugene Lewis for the 2-point convert. The Elks back on top, 10-3. Man, that's pretty.
You see the rookie Ben LeBras getting his hands on him, but just couldn't hang on, and Mayala breaks free and into the Calgary end zone to put Edmonton on top.
Couple of very. And here's a look at the 2-point convert, quick play. You know, what was impressive on those 2 plays and the execution was the quickness, sense of urgency, a sense of purpose, just knowing what in confidence and getting rid of the football quickly. Everybody was locked in, believed in it, and they executed it. Well, that's a great feeling when you go to the sidelines after doing something like that, and these 2 guys are checking it out instantaneously on their little iPads.
So the kickoff and Calgary and getting it down. It is Eccles, a returner, across the 20 and 25 and up over the 30 for Logan Bonner to come back on. But you'd said after the quarter, Matty, Calgary missed their chances, and then Edmonton strikes right away.
And you know, deep down inside, you play a number of games, you know this is going to come back to bite you, and it typically does. It's like in baseball, giving somebody an extra out in an inning, and it typically comes back and bites you. And we saw that, and McLeod Bethel Thompson made sure that they started off in the second quarter properly. I really believe that Jarius Jackson play calling there was tremendous. That one run at the end of the quarter with the off-balance formation, come right back to it, give him the same look, buy some clean pocket from McLeod, and he executed.
They're up at the 32. Bonner taking the hit off the Mills, throws it off to Cole Tucker. The short pickup on his first catch of this game.
Now the crowd's into it. You know, every play, there's a little more juice from the crowd and noise, and make it tough on Calgary. Remind everybody this is a big-time rivalry. That first quarter kind of took the crowd out of it. There's some excitement back in this building.
And it's been a long time since we could say that. Just given the way the Elks have gone the last couple of years, it's been a real struggle. Despite, at times, as you talked about, playing well, but just didn't have the wins to show for it. They're getting those wins now.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, the close games that they've had, and certainly the Calgary Stampeders, too. 10 of the 11 games they've played have come down to the last 3 minutes.
Tucker picks up 2. They set up a draw out of Jalen Philpott, weaving his way through a first down and some more for Philpott as he takes a rare chance to just get a carry and get it up to the 45.
Look good on him, right? Looked like a guy that we saw play earlier in game 2, Nick Dembski, doing it for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Jalen Philpott certainly has this ability, and he's showing, hey, coach, I can do it through the air, and I can tote the rock as well. Give me a chance. And it's a good-looking run right there. Ball security at the end. Outstanding. 11-yard carry right there. I'll take that if I'm Logan Bonner.
Gets it up to the 45. Gain of 11. Back to Dedrick Mills. Oh, he's hit hard. Coming in, he's greeted. Niles Morgan has been known to lay on some hard hits and has some help there as well.
Yeah, I want to say that was Nick Anderson and Niles Morgan, two of my favorite linebackers in the league. There's Anderson coming up right there, 48, takes on, sets the corner, and then Niles comes inside out, and they annihilate the running back for a 1-yard gain. There's the tackle leaders right there, and two of them are playing right here. Niles Morgan and Nick Anderson.
Another second and long. Pressure coming. Bonner just gets rid of it. And it's down for Philpott, and a flag is out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a late hit.
Flag's out back in the Calgary backfield where Bonner was hit just as he released the ball.
Yeah, I want to take another look at this, Rod, because he spots this ball, and I think this is what Dickey sees in practice and likes about this kid, his ability just to kind of stay locked in and off his back foot, knowing he's fixing to get hammered, deliver a completion down the field.
19 yards to Jalen Philpott. Just got rid of it.
There's a really good look at the catch. Oh, that's beautiful. That's just a good pitch and catch right there. It shows you just how ugly it gets in a hurry.
There's no infraction on the play. The previous play was a completed catch, first down.
So they pick up the flag, and Jalen Philpott on 2 second and longs has converted for them. One in a running play, and then one on that nice catch and that low throw by Bonner.
Trying to quiet this crowd once again, and that'll do it. Pick up 11 on the ground and a big chunk of it through the air, putting yourself in good scoring position already.
Down to the Edmonton 45. A response drive for Calgary and Logan Bonner after falling behind for the first time in this game. 10-3 Elks. Here come the Stamps. Mills with the ball. Breaking through two as he flops over inside the 30 and a gain of 11 and another Calgary first down.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes you guess right, and you can take a look at Morgan and watch what he does. He goes off to the left here, and he fills the wrong gap, and Calgary's got the right play dialed up as they're twisting up front, and boy, boom, he pops in the secondary, picks up 10 just like that.
Dedrick Mills running hard in his first game back with Calgary in several weeks. 7 carries, 38 yards so far in this one. First and 10. Edmonton 34, right back to Mills.
Yeah, you talk about that offensive line for Calgary, protecting the young quarterback. They got a bunch of changes up front, and you know, we got the right guard, Nakanu, who's is starting his 5th game. Left tackle, Eric Smith, he's starting his 5th game. You know, McEwen's back from injury, and he hasn't played a lot of football this year. Saxon just his 20th start here, and Coker, he's in his 4th year. He's only got 20 starts up there, so a lot of communication, good-looking drive. They got it going.
Whistle down just for the snap of the ball.
Time count violation. Calgary, number 1. 5-yard penalty.
Hey.
It'll remain second down.
I don't care how many times you do it in practice until you're out here in the game controlling this 20-second clock. It can eat you up in a hurry, and we saw that getting the young quarterback there. And you know, that's those headphones and the ability to communicate is incredible, because that's on both those guys, Dickey and the quarterback on the field.
Good football crowds feed on that too. If they see the opposition takes a time count, they know the noise is helping.
Second 11 is pretty good in defense right now.
There we go, second 11 at the Edmonton 35. That crowd picking up Bonner. And that one is off target. Receiver coming down is Eccles. And so Edmonton and Darius Pratt, they make a stand there, but it'll be a field goal situation coming up for Rene Paredes and the Stampeders.
Yeah, Eccles is right here, right? And this kid was a quarterback in high school. He ran track at TCU, as well as West Kentucky, and he loses his footing right there. I don't care whether you're in Kentucky or Fort Worth, Texas, you're going to lose your footing there. You're trying to make a cut like that. That looked like turf monster got him.
The highest percentage kicker in the CFL this year continues. Rene Paredes is 2 for 2 as he puts that one through, and 3 more on the board for the Stampeders. So they do drive back.
There you go.
On a day when Paredes passed Dave Cutler in the all-time scoring list. What a legend with Edmonton.
Well, Elks new owner Larry Thompson and his wife Deb endearing themselves to fans, driving the iconic Elks fire truck and throwing souvenir footballs. But Larry zigged when he should have zagged and accidentally ended up in the Stampeder bench. Yes, this is Elks new owner Larry Thompson driving the fire truck through the Stampeder bench. I was over there at the time, guys. I can confirm Dave Dickinson and the Stamps were not too thrilled to see Larry at that particular point in time. Clearly an honest mistake, and we're having a little bit of fun with it here, but I can't help but think, guys, maybe the next time the Elks are in Calgary, we'll see a horse and rider tearing through the Elks sideline.
To be continued, Ryan. My goodness. Larry Thompson, hey, long time Edmonton football fan going back decades. He knows all about the rivalry. I'm sure that was an accident, but still.
Are you sure?
Trying to stoke that rivalry up, and Larry must be pleased to see the crowd here filling up the lower bowl.
Well, he might have been distracted looking up at the crowd. And all the seats filled. It was just fantastic here.
He doesn't endear himself to the Stampeders.
Could you imagine, though?
But I'm sure he's endearing himself with that move to
the
Edmonton
retaliation's
fans.
going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Quick 6 is going to be all over Edmonton sideline.
1st and 10, Edmonton 50. And off to the side. That's for Javon Leake. And Mike Rose looked like he got him by the face mask.
That was, and the play before that was Javon Leake picking up a quick 10. And Mike Rose, he said enough of that on that run there. And, yeah, a little back and forth going on right now. It's a good football game.
Face mask. Calgary,
Yeah, we saw
number
it,
41.
right? Good call.
15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
As called by the referee Justin McInnes in this one, so that'll push the Elks down the field into Stampeder territory.
Look at that kick out. Rose coming to get him. That's just, yeah, there it is right there. He catches him with his right hand right across the face mask. Right. Boop. There. That's a no-no. That's just good hustle by 41, though, the veteran, getting out there, trying to make a stop inside out. You know, as a receiver on those hit screens, you come inside. That's where the big boys are coming from.
And running backs by committee as he leak in. We saw Brown earlier. Javon Leake carrying the football. And it really is a triple threat, Matty, if you also factor in Justin Rankin, who had a game for the ages in Hamilton a few weeks ago when he scored 3 touchdowns. And it looks like Javon Leake might have been hurt there.
Yeah, that is just an incredible amount of talent right there. And to keep him on the roster at the same time, be in uniform, at your leisure, just to rotate him through. And you see Leak going down there with a little limp. And that's why that's such a luxury to have two. I mean, Kevin Brown, he can take it to the house. Now Rankin, he's going to run you over. And then Leak, we know about his speed, unprecedented.
So Leak's out, Rankin puts Brown in. Takes that draw. Another good pickup by Kevin Brown to the Calgary 25. Here come the Elks.
Yeah, just take it right up the gut. You know, a little draw, boom. Invite those defensive linemen upfield, wash them down, big lane for KB, and he knows what to do with it. Exactly what we're speaking of here, Rod, is just keep pounding them. You got the massive offensive line of the Edmonton Elks. That should be their calling card, much like it is in Winnipeg, much like it has been as of late for BC and William Stanback. Just run the rock.
Down to the 25, halfway through the second quarter. Back to Kevin Brown, finds another hole. Brown is running well. Edmonton's running the football. This has been a big part, not just the passing of Bethel Thompson, but the way they've been able to run has really helped with this late success.
Yeah, and I mean, that number right there alone is that's impressive. You know, to increase it almost by 90 yards is just incredible. It helps any quarterback. I don't care if you're Trey Ford, McLeod Bethel Thompson, or any quarterback in the league. You got a good, solid running game. Jarris Jackson knows this. He did it for a while in this league, and they're getting back to controlling that line of scrimmage, which helps out everything.
Down just outside the Calgary 13. Edmonton leading by 4 and pressing for more. Little reverse now to Tevin Jones. Finds the edge. Touchdown. He gets another touchdown on the ground.
Give it to him and take it away. You can do that defensively, you can do it offensively. I love the play call there and the misdirection. And Shot does a little spin around. I'll draw that up for you in a second. And that is just exactly what we're talking about. Control the line of scrimmage. Just a plethora of backs and ability from that position. And Rankin, Brown, and Leak. They're flexing their muscles right there.
Last week on Labor Day Monday, Tevin Jones had 5 catches for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was a game breaker, showing a different side of things now. Faking the handoff to Brown, that little toss in the reverse to Jones. Takes it in for another Edmonton touchdown. The Elks now leading it by 11.
Yeah, so you give it to him and you take it away. And what happens is you're going to get a kick down here. You're going to go out here, come out here, and here comes Zott as well. And this is a little continuation of what the defense is looking at from previous plays set up that they've had success with already. Now, the extension of that play is bringing out Zott and bringing out Cordy, and he gets escorted in the end zone. Tevin Jones staying hot. Excellent play call and execution by the Elks here in the second quarter.
Capping off a 6-play, 70-yard drive in just under 4 minutes. As Edmonton's taking charge, it's Eccles on the return now. And slips and heads out of bounds up just shy of the 25-yard line. Tevin Jones. They'd already started 0-7 when they started using him more. What a payoff. What a season he's suddenly having. Beating Jess Pegula in straight sets. So watch more tennis tomorrow on TSN. Here, part 3 of the triple header, Super Saturday in the CFL, Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. Alberta rivalry, the Elks leading 17-6, Calgary ball. And once again in the hands of Dedrick Mills, back with the team after missing several games on personal leave. And 7 more yards for Mills in this comeback game.
A little power ball by Calgary, trying to respond and have good 1st and 10 production there and pick up 7. That'll help that offensive line that's not used to communicating with one another out in a heartbeat right there.
Less than a week ago, McMahon Stadium in Calgary on the Labor Day Monday doubleheader as the Elks beating the Stampeders 35-20. Leading this one. Play action fake. Bonner with a player in his face. He's throwing it closest to Mark and Michelle, but it's not close enough. It hits the turf. It's incomplete. It's 3rd and 3, and Cody Grace is going to be coming on to bunt in the first 2 and out for the Stampeders in this game.
Yeah, pressure made Logan slide to his left, and he couldn't put enough on it. Sometimes, you don't have to touch him, you just have to move him. That's a good example of it, and that's a good 2 and out by the Elks defense.
Cody Grace to punt. A couple of returners back there for Edmonton. 51-yard punt. It's taken by Dylan Mitchell. And he is wrapped down immediately by Miko Dotson. McLeod Bethel Thompson mentioning working very well the number of receivers. That includes Tevin Jones. More on that story and friendship from Ryan.
Yeah, it's more shenanigans off the field. So apparently Bethel Thompson loves the old cars. We'll give you a look at his 1974 Plymouth Valiant, and it impressed his teammates. Took them out for a cruise in it. Now what they said was the car was awesome, but the music was terrible. Kept playing the same 3 songs over and over again. So Tevin Jones took it upon himself to create a playlist, complete with a flattering album artwork as well. Called it Mac 10. 2-pack, a little Warren G on there as well. They loved the car, did not love the taste in music of their quarterback.
Oh, Ryan, and that was quite the look at the young McLeod Bethel Thompson, too, as he got taken down that time. But I'll tell you, a car that old.
That was straight fire, Rod.
Yeah.
That was straight fire.
But, those are MP3s in the playlist, of course. But, back then, you're not going to be able to play MP3s. It would have been the original would have had 8-track machines, maybe a cassette.
If you're lucky in 74, definitely 8-track. Yeah, and McLeod's having a good start to his brilliant game last week, and this one's Very similar. This guy and that guy, they're on the same page. Tevin certainly on fire.
208 yards receiving, a couple of touchdowns last week. He's got a touchdown running in this on the toss reverse. And that's into the hands of Geno Lewis, who had a touchdown last week as well. And scored the 2-point conversion on that last touchdown. Wrestled out of bounds by guy they know well here in Edmonton. Used to wear the green and gold, and Adam Konar now with the Stampeders.
Yeah, Adam is just incredible talent. Cut his teeth right there in Calgary as a dino. And 9 years later, still playing ball and showing off. Oh my God.
So another booming punt by Jake Julian. Peyton Logan down to the 20 to take it. Good return here. Logan down the near side and just pushed out of bounds. He had a burst of speed. The flag does come out on that return late. Remember Peyton Logan last week trying to get Calgary back in the game. He did, Matty, in a big way.
Second longest in Calgary Stampeders lore.
During the return, you believe?
I made that score look pretty flattering for Calgary last week. Made it closer than it really was, but that's a big penalty here. As Logan had another nice return, which he's doing on a regular basis right now.
And that swung the momentum Calgary's way. However, shortly after Edmonton got the ball, McLeod Bethel-Thompson in a long one to Tevin Jones for the touchdown that put it away for Edmonton. But here's another look at what just happened. There was an illegal block.
Yeah, I think you could say you saw two of them pushing the back there at the point of attack, and pretty easy call for the officials. Wipes off another nice return by Peyton Logan.
Pushes Calgary back to start their 16. They started well, but they just couldn't cash in. Logan Bonner threw an interception in the Edmonton end zone. It was picked off by Luchez Purifoy, so points off the board. They're down now by 11. Bonner, it is caught by Richie Bengals on a first down. He gets it up to about the 28 of Calgary.
Yeah, this is a 4-1 formation, Rod. You know, one of my favorite formations. Pretty easy for a quarterback to read. If quarterbacks used to run a spread offense, spread the defense out, and just work the numbers. And he works to the 4-man set and finds a wide open Reggie coming underneath and picks up an easy first down, getting better field position for him. Oh no, that's Niles Morgan, the middle linebacker.
One of the leaders on that Edmonton defense. This time with the team goes before Chris Jones had taken over as head coach, going back to 2021. And that's saying something on a team that has seen so much change over the past few years.
Yeah, you're looking at Jason Shivers there on the sidelines. Yeah, he's right here, and he's trying to get to him, and then he kind of whips around, and they're not sure what happened.
On his four tackles so far already in this game.
He's walking off under his own power. That's good.
Good to see as he's escorted off. Calgary football, though, and a 1st and 10. Bagleton picked that one up from Bonner. Under 3 minutes, the hitch to Clark Barnes, who gets a short gain, just 2 yards. Cordell Jackson in on the stop there as we're expecting the 3-minute warning coming up here.
Right, really nice play by Cordell Jackson coming in there and making a sure tackle.
Slow start for the Elks. Well, they got fired up. The big interception by Purifoy. And later, touchdowns, Mayala, Tevin Jones as well. Late in the half, they lead by 11.
Break down Logan Bonner and the Elks ground attack. Not gonna lie, we had big plans for this 3-minute warning. We have a golf cart waiting for us outside. Milt was gonna ride it behind like a fire truck and pelt us with t-shirts.
Larry Thompson stuff.
They won't let it through the gate, Matt and Rod. It was gonna be hilarious.
You don't run over anybody.
You deserve better, Kate. All of you, all your hard work. We look forward to hearing from you at halftime. Here's Logan Bonner. And it looked like it was caught for a second by Eccles, but hit immediately, and it falls incomplete. Coming in, Nick Anderson, who you like to talk about earlier.
Yeah, one of my favorites. I saw him at training camp, and talking to head coach Chris Jones at the time, he pointed out 45. He says he's on the IR right now, but when he gets healthy, look out. And he was bang on with that assessment. This is Bond on the move, and it's a heads-up play by the weak side linebacker, Nick Anderson from Tulane.
So Cody Grace on the punt. Coming in, letting it pop is Mitchell, and he'll get a no yards on that one. After a 40-yard punt, so you can tack on 15 more for the Elks. Claude Bethel Thompson back on. By the way, we just heard from Kate promoting the panel at the half. Kudos to all of you. Kate, everybody last week, all the travel, all the work you put in, and the lack of sleep too. I thought it was terrific back there. And triple header Saturday. Busy day today. I know from having hosted in the distant past those long days of watching football. I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt watching football games, but
all kinds of football games.
All kinds.
I think that was a throwaway.
And Eugene Lewis happened to be there with Kobe Williams.
Yeah, I think that was a throwaway. Hey, but you talk about back in the studio, 3 games in a row. They got the A-team there, and cameraman, lighting, sound. I don't know who's doing Libero, but they have. It's an incredible locker room.
No, it's great. It is absolutely great.
Bring up the bank of televisions, and you're watching about 9 different games at the same time. Obviously, your focus is on this one, but it's a great day of sports, and Studio 6.
Taking off, McLeod Bethel Thompson dives inside the 40 and secures the ball, too. But we got over 2 minutes to go until halftime. Lots of time for the Elks to add to their lead.
Not bad for a 36-year-old right there. You know, kind of looked a little awkward going head first. And cut loose the trailer. No, he sees it and he takes it. And you see Dozier coming there late trying to punish him because he is going head first. There's a ball carrier at that point. Julian Hauser in hot pursuit. 16 yards from McLeod Bethel Thompson through the air and on the ground.
You don't see him run a lot, but he's making it count inside the 40 now. Leading by 11 and handing off. Tough yardage right in there.
That looked like Leak.
John Leak he looked hurt earlier, but back in the game.
Yeah.
Pick up at just 2 yards.
You know, we see a run last week. I saw that run last week. He broke about 6 tackles and spinning around. And, you know, it's just, I think to me that speaks to competition, Rod.
And he certainly has some competition, doesn't he? I mean, with Brown and also, but you know what's interesting? They brought him in. He was the top returner in the league last year.
4 punt returns for Toronto last year.
And it evolves that he's not even on returns now, or very rarely is, because he's become so valuable in offense.
That's why I see Gavin Cobb back there.
And Dylan Mitchell lately, too, from the 36. And over it is too late. Yards afterwards, he's taken down.
It'll be close.
It'll be very close. It's Bentley Sanders, the safety, coming in. He just got inside the 30, and it'll be about a yard shy, but certainly worth going for given their position on the field and the amount of time they have left.
Yeah. It seems like the Elks have possessed the ball the entire second quarter here, and that's huge and a pretty good indicator of how this football game's gone the last 15 minutes. I guarantee it's weighing on that Stampeder defense. McLeod happily goes off the field as we see Dakota Prukop come on, their short yardage specialist. And
so you get the short yardage specialist. Paul Appley's never talked about this last night in Montreal. You had 2 short yardage plays that ended up going for touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty.
One by David Mackey, one by Nathan Rourke. Flag comes out on this carry by Prukop, who would have enough for the first down.
It looked like as soon as the ball snapped, it looks like Calgary's offsides because they just blew the whistle dead. Play dead.
Procedure, Edmonton, number 62. 5-yard penalty. It'll remain 3rd down.
That hurts.
Tackle Martez Ivy called for procedure. So
that hurts.
Instead of 3rd and short, they push back, and they're going to have to go for a field goal now.
Yeah, and the big man's right there next to the center. And, oh, there he is. Left tackle right there. Just moved a little early. Got a little zealous. Now we get poor Speedy, who was sat down last week.
He was. It was Dean Faithful kicking in Calgary on Labor Day. Beatty sat, and he's back in. Been a tougher year for him, but he does pump that one through. 1 for 1. And this one. And a late flag coming out after the kick, too.
Yeah, this is last week, and Faithful.
Oh,
excuse me, this is last year. This is the win.
This game, this was the Labor Day rematch. Dean Faithful got the walk-off winner.
42-yarder, count it.
Yeah. And he did the wave as a tribute to the Queen.
That
was his wave, a tribute to the Queen.
It was like yesterday, it seemed like. And what a great celebration and insight as to what it's like in that locker room.
Well, Dean, a global player, he's from the UK. And still, he's been on the practice roster, and he was activated last week. And Boris Beatty, who, by the way, was the top kicker percentage-wise. It's Paredes this year, but it was Beatty with Toronto last year. And you talk about Javon Lee. They brought him in, and it's been a tougher season, put it that way, but looking to bounce back, and he's 1 for 1. And there's Dean Faithful, who's quite a character in his own right. A chance for a long chat with him. Great Cup week in Hamilton.
Had a good week last week. 1 or 2 field goals, 4 converts.
4-man rush, 1 minute to go. The throw from Bonner to that's Clark Barnes, and he coughs up the ball, and it looks like the Stampeders. If they get it back, they'll sort that out. Kyle Saxon looking to flop in the football, and it's in the hands of the Elks. It's the ruling here they continue to discuss. And was it even a complete pass with Barnes taking it?
It looks like Elliott Brown walking around with the football.
Daniel Joseph, one of the new members of the Edmonton Elks.
Another specimen.
It'll be 2nd down.
Another tremendous athlete, Joseph, first-year player from North Carolina State. He thought he had a fumble here. Boy, it looked like a fumble to me.
Well, they call it incomplete pass. Never really had control of it. Back to the 40 in a 2nd and 10 with 50 seconds on the clock now.
I'll just say,
It's one of those judgment calls.
Yeah, right.
Did he have it long enough?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Bang, bang.
Jarius Jackson, interim head coach, Edmonton Elks. A team that has been on the rise lately. Looking for their 5th win after an 0-7 start. 2nd and 10. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Bonner is picked off again. And that time it was open season on the football as it got deflected at the line. And all of a sudden the Elks are going to have another chance to score before this half is done.
Sean Oakman, why not? 6'9", get your hands up. You can't get to him. I don't care how tall you are back there. This could be a problem when you get these long mids in front of you, sitting in your lap, collapse in the pocket.
There's Nick Anderson, anxiously awaiting that one.
That was a gimme. Tulane having a game.
So Anderson with the interception. It's at the Calgary 45. Edmonton leading by 14 with a chance for more. And it's out to Lee. A stiff arm there for Cam Judge, but he heads out of bounds. 37 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, tough go in the first 30 minutes. Dickie consoling, talking to his young quarterback. Yeah, it's a lot of communication going on there. And like I said, that intercom system in the helmet is different, right? Because Dickie can talk to him pretty much 24/7. It continues on the sidelines.
Lee gets it down to the 42 of Calgary. 37 seconds. And getting closer down towards the 30. Another completed pass for Bethel Thompson.
Well, this is a throw from like last week. Pressure in his face. You can see it coming up the middle, right down the gut. He slides to his left and throws a dart. Perfect to Mayala.
11 yards for number 11, Hergy Mayala, who's a touchdown in this game. And was slow to get up. So here we go, 1st and 10. It's caught again. It's Curly Gittens. He gets into the act here. Gittens with a catch inside the 15. Still 22 seconds left until halftime.
Yeah. Now that offense is just showing off with all this talent out there, rotating running backs, mixing it up with receivers. MBT feeling it. Starting to get a nice little rhythm here.
Gain of 18 down to the 13. Edmonton may not be done just yet before this half. Bethel Thompson, he's got time. Escapes the rush, gets rid of it to the end zone deep and well overthrown. It's past the dead ball line as he gets some help up from Brett Boyko, but it'll be a 2nd and 10 coming up, but only 4 seconds left on the clock and a chance to at least put 3 more points on the board.
Yeah, and Calgary looks like they're going to go in down 17. If Beatty can make this one, it wouldn't expect that after the first 5 minutes of this ball game where they had all kinds of opportunities to get out to a quick start. Didn't capitalize. Edmonton said thank you.
So Boris Beatty we just saw with his first field goal of the day, and Jake Julian will put this one down for a much shorter attempt as Beatty goes 2 for 2. And an impressive first half, especially second quarter, for the Edmonton Elks, who wrap up that first 30 minutes and put 23 on the board and have really taken charge trying to sweep the home and home against Dave Dickinson's Calgary Stampeders.
And talking to Dave this week, we talked about, is there going to be a leash on the young quarterback? And he said, no, I'm just looking for a spark. You know, we'll see how it plays out, but he's just trying to find some mojo, and wasn't there in the first half.
Well, remember, Tevin Jones had the pair of touchdowns on Labor Day Monday. This time he has no catches, but he has that big carry on the toss, reverse, taking it in. And Jones helping Edmonton to this lead as he is standing by now with Ryan Rashad.
All right, Tevin, the defense did a nice job getting you the ball in your guys' hands. How do you think you guys executed in that first half?
First quarter was kind of slow, but we picked it up in the second half. And Lord's willing that the coaches come through, and we come through for the coaches, and we come through for the fans, and we'll get everything done.
More contributions from yourself. How would you describe the chemistry you're developing with McLeod and why it's working so well?
On the outside looking in, things are working well, but on the inside looking out, we can do better. We can do a lot better. So just get your popcorn ready, and we'll do better on the second half.
All right, thanks, Tim. Appreciate it.
Sounds good.
All right, let's send it to Kate and the panel.
Right, that panel would be Enoch Mwamba, Jim Barker, Milt Siegel, and Paul LaPolice. We were all wondering before this game, who is Logan Bonner? We had no tape really on him. We didn't really know how his game would unfold. Well, he's 8 of 16 so far. He's 87 yards, but he has those 2 picks. And we've got a couple of coaches to break it down. Let's start with you, Lapo.
The thing I wanted to talk about most was, let's figure out what's going on with this guy, but you have to start with complementary football. Let's start with the defense first. The defense has given up 22 points. You cannot do that to a young quarterback. They don't have any takeaways. They've got to make sure that they help the young player because you don't want to put him in a situation where now he has to throw the balls too much. But let's take a look at his throws and what he's done so far. Early in the game, nice throw on the outside, shows arm strength, pushes it outside in the zone. Easy first down on his first drive. Good recognition here, sees zone. Sees a linebacker work for width. He throws this inside. Really nice throw for him. This is the mistake he has. He has a little bit of pressure off the outside. He feels this pressure, wants to throw it quickly, throws it quickly, doesn't see, I believe that's Purifoy in the back end. You can't make that mistake. But the hardest thing for me is trying to think about, you cannot put him in this big a hole this early for a young quarterback. The players around him, they've had a drop or two. The players around him got to play better for him, so you can evaluate what this guy's doing. It's a tough position to put a young quarterback in, guys.
And just his physical skills, as you look just at that, he's a big arm guy. You can tell that. He wants to sit in the pocket. He does not want to be out of the pocket. He'll stand in the pocket versus pressure. He's going to get pressure here, stand in, and throw a strike. Though that's a positive. He's comfortable in the pocket. That's a positive. He doesn't move real well. That's obvious. He doesn't want to move real well. Again, those are things, Lapo hit it on the head. It's tough when you have a new quarterback to be down 22 points and you feel like you got to score every time. So I think this is a tough kid. I think he's a big arm. I think he's pretty accurate. But I think they need to give him some help and that type of thing. If he's going to go, it was interesting. Dave said he wanted a spark. There certainly was not a spark. I mean, you know, he got him down. They got down close through the interception. So, again, it's one of those things that if it's a spark he wants, maybe he goes back to Jake.
Well, let's look at a guy who doesn't necessarily need that much help. We saw Lucas Purifoy, who actually helped him out, but he's looking really comfortable right now in this offense. Started a little bit slow, but he picked it up, and he's finding his receivers, finding his touches, coming off of a career day last week, and now he just needs to just relax. And he's just the worst thing he could do around is throw interceptions, but he's been pretty accurate. Finds Hergy Mayala for the big touchdown right there, and it was a 60-yard run. And catch and run, so it was great right here, looking like McLeod Ford Thompson or looking like 2024 Milt Stegall over here. So he looked like he was running a little bit faster than Milt Stegall ran a few weeks back. But look, McLeod Bethel Thompson, the only thing he needs to do right now, manage the game, don't throw interceptions, and this game is in a bag.
I'll talk about you with that later. But speaking of running, these Edmonton Elks have been able to run the ball. Big reason why they've had some success over these last few weeks. Of course, the quarterback's been playing well, but they have a three-headed monster like no other. And it's very rare, and I think you understand this, Coach, GM, Jim Barker, that you have three American running backs on your roster. They all better be monsters, and that's exactly what they have. You have Kevin Brown, you have Javon Leake, and you have Justin Rankin, who hasn't even stepped on the field yet because they have two great running backs in front of them. So this is great, especially when it gets cold, when you know you have to run the ball. And when you are able to run the ball up the middle, this is what happens next. You see the reverse to Tevin Jones, and Tevin Jones has not caught a pass yet, but he's had an impact because he's a big guy who can run those reverses. So this is a great sign for these Edmonton Elks. They're trying to get back in the playoff race. Their quarterback play has been good. They got two great quarterbacks, three great running backs, pretty good defense, good receivers. They're looking pretty good right now.
They're not turning it over. I mean, they're not beating themselves. Those are the things they were doing early in the year. They're not doing that anymore.
There is so much energy on this panel. I think we can do another game after this. We've done 2.5, but just keep going. Let's do number 4.
Who's going to play?
I mean, we'll figure that out later. Alex currently up by 7.
No other teams to play.
Recapping the week that was, Lions, Alouettes, Friday, third quarter action, Lions up by 4. William, please stand back, takes the handoff, breaks a couple of tackles, makes a move to stay in bounds, dives in for the score. The former Alouette playing against Montreal for the first time since the team didn't re-sign him, finished with a season-high 128 yards as the Lions win a 37-23 your final. Argonauts, Red Blacks, kicking off Super Saturday early in the first, Chad. Kelly, the throw going to be bobbled, and it's picked off by Damon Spiderweb, who takes it to the house. Kelly's first pick-6 thrown since last year's Eastern Final. Puts the Red Blacks in front. It was ugly to begin this game. And then in the second, Ottawa up by 10. Another bad throw from Kelly. Intercepted by guess who? Webb again. This one returned 96 yards for another pick-6. Webb, the first player in Red Blacks history with 2 pick-6s in a single game as the Red Blacks take it big time. And the Banjo Bowl. Once again, a great game between the Rough Riders and the Blue Bombers. We'll get there, I promise. Let's just look at the Red Blacks one more time. I haven't done SportsCenter for years. Give me a break. Fourth quarter, Bombers threatening. Zach Claro's going to find Kenny Lawler for the lead. Bombers looking for their 5th straight win after starting the season 0-4. They haven't lost a Banjo Bowl game since 2018 season. Dying seconds we go. Riders down by 5. Trevor Harris. He's going to be intercepted by Tyrell Ford to seal it. Ford's second interception of the game. The Bombers win their 4th straight Banjo Bowl, the longest win streak in the game's history. 26-21 your final, and all of a sudden the Winnipeg Blue Bombers right back in the West. And out of all those games, not the Friday game, just Super Saturday, your MVP, Enoch.
Easy. Spidey
Webb.
It's got to be him. 2 interceptions to the house as well.
That's impressive.
A physical game, 5 tackles, 2 interceptions. You can't beat that on a Super Saturday. My goodness.
Yeah, and a huge game for them, too. That's a great pick. I'm going to take another defensive back, Canadian Tyrell Ford.
I like it.
Yeah.
He had 2 interceptions. He had 2 knockdowns. He was solid all game. They came after him a few times. He made plays when he had to make them.
Yep.
I thought in a huge game, he played great.
I'm going to go with a guy who was roaming the sidelines. He didn't step on the field, but he had some impact on the sidelines. That's the Elks owner, Larry Thompson.
I like
Did you see him cruising in the Elkmobile on the sideline? Calgary sideline.
You call that cruising? He went through the opponent's sideline?
That's defensive players. Running over the Calgary Stampeders
Yeah,
almost.
pardon me, Reggie Beggleton. Can't judge.
You know, Omar Doman, what is he going to do to match that, baby? Pressure's on.
Omar Doman. And honestly, too, how about this crowd in Edmonton tonight? I mean, I can't get enough of these crowd shots. Great to see these fans come back, and they're getting a show.
Halftime in Edmonton, the Elks lead the Stamps 23-6. You look at the numbers. I mean, Edmonton's definitely running the football better, and they've certainly taken advantage of the 2 turnovers they've got as well. In charge right now as Calgary keeps struggling. Here's head coach Dave Dickinson now with Ryan Rashad.
Dave, what was the message to your team at the half there? Maybe what bothered you most in that first half?
We're in a rut, so let's just keep working hard. We're in a rut, though, and let's be honest, we got to play better. But listen, there's no words. Come on, let's just play, and I still think we got a chance. Let's go out here and do it.
You said you wanted a spark when you made the change to Logan Bonner. What were your thoughts on him in the first half? Do you stay with him here?
Well, yeah, I mean, you certainly have growing pains, and you understand that. But he also has to play better. So we're trying to win a football game. We're going to do what's best for our team.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
So he didn't, Matty, commit to Logan Bonner the rest of the way. We talked to him a couple of days ago, and he wants the spark, but it didn't sound like he wouldn't go back to Jake Mayer if the circumstances demanded it.
Right. And whether or not you agree with the merry-go-round and the change, 30 minutes trying to figure out the game as a rookie, 14 passes in, is not much of a opportunity.
Right.
You know, and when he can't tackle, he can't stop the run. There's a lot going on with this football team, but I understand that they need a spark and they're in a rut, obviously.
Well, have a look at what he did in the first half of his first start, 8 for 16 for 95 yards and 2 picks.
Yeah, and it started out tremendous, and then there's a couple plays that weren't made, and that throw right there, I think, turned the tide. Lucius Purifoy needed a big play as a veteran free safety. He got it. That ball's tipped, and that is because of Sean Lemon collapsed the pocket and forced him off his spot, and the ball was tipped, and Sean Oakman, and it was not all on the young quarterback.
There's Reggie Beggleton taking that short pass, and Beggleton gets it up for a Calgary first down, a gain of 11 to get things started. And they have the running of Dedrick Mills as well, who had 51 yards rushing in that first half.
Yeah, that's to me, I think that's a positive. And you continue to do that. And get the ball to 84 as much as possible. Good start.
We had a lot of targets in the first half. Also had over 55 yards in production. Longest to 24, first and 10, Calgary 43, Logan Bonner. Serves one up, and it's caught nicely by Eccles. Down the right side for another big first down. A beautiful toss dropped in the bucket there by Logan Bonner for Eccles.
Yeah, quarterback to quarterback, and this is just, make it happen. Watch him do his thing. Little stutter step, ball's out there, make a play on the ball. Well timed.
Well placed, nice catch, 30-yard pickup there for the Stampeders.
That's a nice catch.
That's a great catch.
All day long. Good job. Good start. A little spark going here.
Eccles inserted in the lineup with the injury to Ish Hyman. On the handoff, that's Peyton Logan getting a running play. He was a lot busier as a running back in the time away by Mills. A couple of carries in this game so far. He gets 4 more yards.
Yeah, going back to the change at quarterback, I'm glad to see Logan starting the second half. I think he'd crush a kid if you just threw him out there for 30 minutes expecting the team to turn the team's woes around himself. Yeah, he made a mistake in the red zone, but everybody does that.
2nd and 6. Bonner has time. They rush 4. Morgan coming in. It's intercepted again. Kai Gray waiting for it right at the sideline. They had lots of coverage on Eccles. They had Eccles surrounded. And Gray is the pick. The 3rd interception thrown by Logan Bonner in his debut.
Trying to do too much. Forced out of the pocket. Taking points off the board with this throw right there.
+3, the Elks are in turnovers, and they have the lead.
Yeah, learning on the fly, Logan Bonner is. And a good start to the second half here, and then he got a little too greedy. It's a gift and a curse to have the ability to sling the ball over the yard, and he tries to make a play here and doesn't get much help. Right there is as Peyton Logan falls to the turf and he slips and the ball sails over his head, the waiting arms of Kai Gray. Yeah, so you think about that and got the quarterback to make that throw. Guy slips, take points off the board. Who knew?
And deep in the Elks zone, they take over again. Happened back to that end zone in the first half, and the interception by Purifoy that took points off the board for Calgary. Kai Gray, 3rd interception of the season.
My son, Kane. Daddy love you, baby.
5th of his career, Rod. Big time play. Much like we saw in the second quarter where Edmonton came up some plays, took points off the board.
Biggest difference in this game when Calgary didn't really take advantage of the chances that they had early on. So McLeod Bethel-Thompson, 9 of 14 for 116. The touchdown pass. He had 486 through the air in Calgary less than a week ago on Labor Day. So 2nd and 2 now. It's Javon Leake, 1st down and more. Up across the 25. The Leake seems just fine as the Elks quickly move it out of their own end.
Yeah, and they're just going to just press it and simply they're going to move this way and the ball's coming the other way. Watch the jump cut. Boom, backside. Big time hole. With Javon Leake's speed. That's stealing right there.
Mentioned strictly a returner in the CFL in his time with the Argos. Rarely saw offensive reps, but he had 4 return touchdowns last year for Toronto. And signed on with Edmonton. Up to the 26 now. This time it's Kevin Brown. Puts his head down. He's graded. Brandon Dozier's there. Mikey Alway, the hard hitter, there as well.
Yeah, it looked like all 3 linebackers for Calgary met him in the hole and said, no. Alway, Dozier, and you're going to see Cam Judge. Watch those linebackers, all 3 of them. Go get them. Bam. Oh, that's just 2 of them. 2/3 of the 3 right there. Judge forced it back inside. There's Alway. And
Mike Alway's been known to hit as hard as 2 people.
Oh, my goodness.
2nd and 8. Edmonton 28 now. Bethel-Thompson off to the left and too far.
2-man coverage there, pretty easy to decipher. McLeod probably wants that one back.
Looking for Gavin Cobb.
Yeah, he's just a second receiver from the top. Running a corner route. That's tight coverage by LeBros. I'm talking about he was in his hip pocket. That ball's thrown underneath. Only place it could have been is over the top. That's where McLeod put it. Just missed it.
Jake Julian, low snap for him. But just booming these punts. 47-yarder. That's short by his standards. And Logan on the return, and second time in a minute he slammed his hand down to the dirt.
From Peyton Logan.
Yeah, slipping as well. Just turning out to be a beautiful day here in Edmonton. Monday Night Football has the New York Jets facing off against the defending NFC champions, the San Francisco 49ers. You can catch all the action Monday at 8:15 Eastern. Maddie, we never really found out how the Jets would be with Aaron Rodgers last year. It only lasted 4 plays before he was out, so they'll start up again.
Remind me a couple years ago with Jeremiah Mazzola, and how quickly that ended. We'll see.
CFL day today. Part 3 of the triple header. Calgary is down, but they have the ball and kind of drive up close to midfield. Dietrich Mills, the ball carrier.
Yeah, now's the time right here. Dave Dickinson said, and we're in a rut. We need to get out of the rut here. Nick Lewis on his left, Dave Dickinson looking at his play call sheet. Nick Lewis, receiver coach, Hall of Fame receiver. Jake Mayer,
who 2 years ago took over for Bo Levi Mitchell. Been the starter ever since, but benched today in favor of Logan Bonner for that spark. 2nd and 5. Calgary 49. They've got him. The ball does come out. Looked like he tried to throw it as he was being sacked, and he looked like he'd be slow to get up. You saw Daniel Joseph in there providing some heat. Elks were all over him. Oh, it's Elliott Brown as well.
just talking about getting after it inside, then just arrives quickly, spin move on Eric Smith, making his 5th start in a row. Ponder, like, they didn't do that at Utah State. He got erased. Elliott Brown. Tremendous move inside.
Calgary, number 1. Ball will be placed in spottable foul. 3rd down.
Yeah, he did. You could see him.
Good
the ball
idea.
came out, but yeah, I mean, he just tried to get rid of it as he was, the inevitable was happening.
Just a heck of an inside move by Elliott. His knee was down. I thought his knee was down before that ball came out, so.
6 quarterback sacks this season for Elliott Brown to lead the way for Edmonton. 23-6 are going to get the ball back. Cody Brace to punt it away. Punt of 45 yards. Dylan Mitchell on the return, and he can't go anywhere there. It's nice to acknowledge those in the stripes, especially after long, great careers. Back judge Larry Butler. This is his last game as a CFL official. It's his 20th season. Worked over 300 games, 4 Grey Cups, including the last 2. And Larry is choosing to exit the game on his terms, and he got to select the games that he'd like to finish with, and he chose Touchdown Pacific. So he worked last week in Victoria, and then this, the Labor Day rematch in Edmonton. And congratulations on a great career, back judge Larry Butler.
Killer stats, by the way. Killer stats.
That's 1st and 10. Edmonton 31. To the wide side there for Dylan Mitchell. And that's Larry on this play.
Yeah. There he is. Right in front of him.
No catch. Out of bounds. Larry Butler. It's nice he gets to choose how he wants to go out, too.
Yeah, that's amazing. An amazing career. Talks about the CFL officiating crew and what a close-knit group of people it is, and it certainly is.
2nd down and 10. Bethel Thompson underneath to Leak. See if he can do the rest here. And he is taken down shy of a 1st down, well shy. So Jake Julian already heading out on the field. 4th 2 and out for the Edmonton Elks in this game, but they're still leading it by 17 points. A frustrated look in the face of McLeod Bethel Thompson.
He's thinking about riding that car. Once he saw his hot rod going east and west, he knew it wasn't going to go very far. Too much pursuit at this level.
Last time for Jake Julian, the snap was a bit low. He still got a 47-yarder off. He's had 1 over 80, his first one today, and now we get finger pointing time and movement at the line of scrimmage, and out come the flags. Oh, there's yellow laundry all over the field.
They get a cheap one? They pull Calgary offsides? Dickey can't believe it. He thinks they're fooling him. Stop.
Procedure. Edmonton, number 50. 5-yard penalty. It'll remain 3rd down.
The rookie Joel DeBlanco. Flag for procedure.
1st round draft pick for the Elks. Plays a lot of positions already, moving them all over the field, trying to find him a sweet spot.
Outstanding punch, 63 yards. Here's Logan, though. He's got some room. He gets around the edge. Not quite. Taken down. Josh Haggerty coming in and a late flag as well. But congratulations again. Larry Butler, 20 years on the job, working his final CFL game today at Commonwealth Stadium. We'll be back. Before the game, as always, was the toss of the coin, but it was in particularly good hands this time. RCMP Appreciation Night. With more on that story, let's head back down to Ryan.
Rod, thank you, along with Acting Staff Sergeant Major Courtney McCarron. It's a celebration of 50 years since the first group of female officers took the oath to be full-time members. It's 19 years of service for you. How would you describe your experience doing what you do for that long?
I love it. Every day is different. There's so many experiences. I've been really fortunate in this career. I get to do great things like this, and I get to serve our communities and give back in a positive, meaningful way. I absolutely love this career.
Dressed in the red serge, I was watching you. So many kids come up. They want to talk to you. When you're in conversation with young girls and talk to them about this as a potential future, how do those conversations go, and what do you get back?
Well, I liken it a lot to actually football. And you look at your team and you look at what you have. No two people are the same. You can't have a whole team of offensive linemen. And so everybody needs to be diverse, and everybody has a spot and everybody has a place. And so that's the same with police work. We're not looking for a cookie-cutter Mountie. We need people who can come with different experiences, different walks of life, and who look different so that they can connect to the communities that they serve.
Well, as I said, 19 years of service. Thank you for that service, and thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much.
All right, Rod.
Thank you, Ryan. And yes, let me echo that. Thank you for your service. RCMP Appreciation Night. Edmonton bringing the heat. That blitz. Derek Moncrief almost got into Bonner there. Incomplete second down. They're at the Calgary 20. They're down 17. Logan Bonner, first CFL start. More pressure. Over the middle and caught. Wide open. Reggie Begelton. First down and more. He's still on his feet. And finally, it's tripped up just across the 45. A big first down for the Stampeders.
Yeah, Edmonton bringing 5 on this play. And Logan stands tall and delivers a strike to Reggie once again. Look at that. 64 games in a row. Guys, you got just 102 more to catch Nick.
And it's going to say, as great as Begelton's been, look at that record by Nick Lewis. One of their coaches now running is Dedrick Mills back in the Calgary lineup for this game tonight, and a nice addition back in it too. They struggled running the football against Edmonton back on Monday.
Yeah, I don't think you can get away from the run right now in this game plan when you're play calling if you're Dave Dickinson, because you're down 17. It's 3 scores. You can get that back. Just look at Nick Lewis. He's going to get his receivers going. This young quarterback an opportunity and ability to have a clean pocket and deliver the football, which we know he can do. Sometimes you tip the cap to the defense.
2nd and 3, up near midfield, handing off to Peyton Logan. He finds room. Peyton Logan complementing that running game with Mills out. Logan takes it across midfield and another first down. Calgary's got something going on offense now.
Yeah, they do, and they certainly have the tools to do it. And you see Eric and Reggie downfield. He's doing his thing. Just get inside, wall him off. 14 yards for Logan Peyton Logan.
Down to the 43. Bonner, a draw to Logan. Logan to Logan. And he gets it just inside the 40. So another good pickup for number 20. Normally a special teamer, great returner, but got a lot more time as a running back lately, especially with Mills away.
Yeah, Peyton's a dual threat. Just don't see enough of him from that position. He's only got 17 catches for 77 yards out of the backfield. Dave, when he played the game, he lit his running backs up with the football.
Logan Bonner Second and 6. He's looking deep. Down to the right for Bangleton. And Cordell Jackson was right there in front of him. He had the position in front of Bangleton. And it falls incomplete. Third down coming up.
Yeah, Cordell just feathered off, and that ball was late and not thrown out far enough. And he's right here going to run a corner route. And if you keep your eyes up top here to the halfback, you see him just flying back underneath. Just another great job to center field turn and get underneath that throw.
DeMarcus Christmas came in and hit Bonner just after he threw the football.
I didn't think he got up by his head, but he was grabbing his head. I think he was more upset with himself in the throw.
46-yard try for the ever reliable Rene Paredes. That's another 3 on the board. Calgary still with some work to do, but they do pick up something to show for that drive. 23-9, Edmonton still in front. And there is Logan Bonner and Dave Dickinson coming over to talk to his young quarterback, who just saw that drive stall. They settled for 3 after it was underthrown, intended there for Reggie Bangleton.
A lot going on right down there, you know, on that bench, you know, and receivers, relationships, belief. Young quarterback trying to figure it out in front of our eyes on a team that's been 6-12 for the last 2 years.
Bethel Thompson swings it out. Javon Lee, hop in his step. He gets it up across the 45. So a 14-point Edmonton lead. And with a win today, not only sweeping the home and home, but it would also mean moving ahead of Calgary in the West Division standings ever so tight.
I love it. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, and that's what's being preached to a lot of teams right now, especially how close they are in the West.
You think about this team. They started at 0-7. If Edmonton wins today, they'd be 1 point behind Saskatchewan. The Rough Riders lost again. They've been in a hole. They've beaten by the Bombers in a in a close game in the Banjo Bowl. That's Lee. He slips his way through the hole. He gets another first down. He's up near midfield.
Yeah, just sweet feet in that hole there. Just like 2 or 3 moves, just kind of redirecting. You know, picking up 6 or 7 yards there and made it look pretty easy in some tight quarters. A great look at it. There's 1, 2, 3, and then he slices and gets in between a couple of defenders and gets another 2 or 3 at the end of the run. That's just great vision and feet.
The ball's at the 55, and Javon Leake is 55 yards rushing now. 1st and 10, Edmonton. Oh, nowhere to run. That time it's Kevin Brown, and he's greeted by a committee in red and white, taken down for a loss.
Yeah, a little Brett Monson brought a little pressure, a little run blitz, stuffed that run for a loss of 2. Here it comes. Everybody got a gap. Just flying in there. Gunners. Not a chance. I think that's getting up to the line of scrimmage, giving yourself time to check out of that. Had no chance in that play.
That was Kyle Daba. Big tackle. Rolling out, deeper route, and it's caught too by Gino Lewis. Nice throw and a nice catch by Eugene Lewis, their leading receiver coming into this game.
Arm talent displayed by MBT. Gets flushed to his right. Good twist up front. Hicks is in his face. Strong arms it. And the catch radius on the other end, Gino Lewis. On DeMario Houston. 2 vets going at it. Pick up 19 and move the sticks. Beautiful.
A happier time for Lewis in Edmonton after last season, which was such a struggle for the Elks as it was at the start of this year. Back to Brown.
Yeah, you talk about 2 guys stepping up to the plate. These are their numbers when they're playing against each other. Bagleton, look at that. That's a career for some people. That's just when he plays Edmonton. And then the other side, Eugene Lewis, he's almost got 40 for a little over 700, couple TDs. That's both these guys showed out last week, over 100 yards in the Labor Day Classic. If I'm a quarterback, I got a big old smile on my face when I walk in the huddle. I see 87 and 84.
two long-standing receiving talents in the Canadian Football League. At it today, here's Bethel Thompson off to the side, just put in a spot where only Lewis could get it. Once again, working on Demario Houston, but they'll get something going now late in the third quarter.
Yeah, talk about arm talent. You know, you got to have it in this league. Understanding that comes with time and playing the game. Logan Bonner's working on that in front of our eyes. McLeod Bethel Thompson has been money ever since basically coming back from his demotion when Trey Ford got injured. We've seen him light it up over the last 6 years too, whether it's for Toronto or Edmonton. But now they're turning into wins for this football team.
Well, it's like two sparks. They got a spark when Ford came in, and then after he got hurt and Bethel Thompson got another chance, that was a spark for Edmonton. They just, for the most part, kept winning, and they finally blow this one, and the Brown carry at a standstill as he stayed on his feet. Got another good carry as well.
And Ron, I'll go back to what we were talking about before. I've talked a lot about it in the league because you have to. You know how VA responds to what Nathan Ork is doing. You know what Jake Mayer, how he's going to respond. You know, Mazzoli is responding to Drew Brown. Bo
Levi Mitchell.
Bo Levi Mitchell. What's happening, with Taylor Pop. And it's a volatile game in a lot of different ways. And you're going to have to fight through adversity. And right now we're looking at a young man's doing the same along with his football team. But it's part of the position.
So 2nd and 3. This should be the last play of the third quarter. Back to Brown. Oh, he just doesn't want to go down. And finally does. The rookie Ben LeBras in on that tackle. So it is quarter time. 3 more yards. And the Elks in scoring range. Lots of fans out for this one. And lots of turnovers, too, being forced by Edmonton. They're in charge. Looking for the sweep in the home and home. Labor Day in the rematch. They're up by 14. The numbers through 3 quarters. Now, Calgary actually had the field goal and very low-scoring quarter, Matty, but it's still, you get this feeling, Edmonton, offensively, defensively, too, they're still very much in charge.
Yeah, an explosive football team. Really hadn't seen the passing attack, which we saw at the Labor Day Classic, only 154 yards from McLeod Bethel Thompson, but the balance offensively has been impressive with their running backs and continuing to control the line of scrimmage and the clock. Yeah, no points for them this quarter, but in Calgary's within striking distance, only 14 down, and they just need some explosive plays themselves, something that Dave Dickinson said at halftime to our Ryan Rashad, that we're in a rut, and they continue to be in a rut and not finding the end zone. Kudos to that defense for Edmonton taking the ball away.
And Edmonton can relate to being in a rut they were at the start of the season. They lost the first 7 games, but they're 1 quarter away from winning 5 of 6, getting right back in the thick of things. Here's Bethel Thompson. And off to the right, and just basically throws it away. Closest receiver in the area was Geno Lewis.
You know, it's time. McLeod will probably look at that play tomorrow and go, man, I should extend it a little bit more, maybe set my feet, look back, you know, but not a bad play there because you're chip shot for Boris Beatty. He'll kick it to the scoreboard from there. Get back this 3 points they lost in the third quarter. It's a big play for the Calgary defense trying to hold them.
Third trip to the red zone for Edmonton, 1 for 2 in terms of touchdowns. 2nd and 10 now from the Calgary 19. It's caught! It's a touchdown! It's Eugene Lewis again. Second straight game, both against Calgary. The Eugene Lewis has found the end zone.
Rodney, that was special by McLeod Bethel Thompson there. Look left, threw a dart right, and just when you thought Calgary had a chance, maybe keep him off the board with the major, McLeod Bethel Thompson says, nah, I got this talented right arm, I'm going to use it. And I got 87, I'm going to abuse it.
To your point earlier, Calgary would have time pinch in or had to settle for a field goal. And with Edmonton, I mean, their offense, they weren't that productive in the third quarter, but here they are to start.
Yeah, watch his eyes. You can see McLeod Bethel-Thompson looking this way. That's all he needs to do. Then he hits his third step, and the cannon comes out. Ooh-wee, what a route. Nice route, Eugene, on the Mario. And that's two veterans going at it. And Eugene Lewis winning that battle all day. That's how it's done right there.
10 plays, 70 yards, and 420. And it is now a 30-9, a 21-point lead for Edmonton, taking charge in this game.
Okay, Eugene. Okay. I could see Milt doing that in the studio.
They were talking about touchdown celebrations last night, so we'll have to get Milton's assessment of Eugene Lewis.
Right. Well, Milt was in the end zone more than any receiver in the history of the Canadian Football League, so he's got a few
qualified
dances.
to talk about it.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at McLeod. That tablet is so critical. You can see things right away and put it in your brain, erase it, figure it out.
You know who you talking to? It's Mr. G. I told you. You better betting on me than the lottery. Yeah, you better go for it.
Bet on him in the lottery.
Calgary ball in a deeper hole now by 21 points. Here's Cam Eccles. He turns the corner. He's got a good return up near midfield.
That's that track speed coming out right there. Ran the 200 in a 4x1. Ran track at TCU, Texas Christian University. Before he transferred to West Kentucky, played wide receiver. And you can see a little bit of it there, you know? Nice stride, press it, bounce it. And he's out leveraging people here. High knees. That's impressive.
40-yard return up to the Calgary 47, but now Logan Bonner and the offense coming on, and they got to do something with it. Fourth quarter, throwing, Bonner completes to Cole Tucker.
I think Cole realized where he was, tried to turn it up, but it was too late. Stepped out of bounds after a 4-yard gain. He's upset with himself. All those things add up, you know. And right now it's not adding up for Calgary. Hasn't for a while. Still looking for that spark.
Well, Dave Dickinson took over as head coach of this team back in 2016. They were the top team in the CFL. They got upset in the Grey Cup that year, as it happened the next year as well, but in the regular season. Oh, what a catch. Nicely done. Down to the 50 and a first down. That's Tucker again. Went up high and snagged that one.
Right up for that. Yeah, and he's right here. He's going to motion down a little bit, sit right in that hole, kick back out. Logan Bonner, don't think that was an errant throw. He was bringing him there because he saw pressure coming from the corner. Outside in, he threw him open.
Down to the Edmonton 50. Handing off, Diedrich Mills, nothing there.
We saw Calgary's linebackers a couple series back double up with the tackle there, and we saw Edmonton get two on the ball carrier as soon as he hit the line of scrimmage.
Derek Moncrief in there with the rookie Joel DeBlanco as well, teaming up here on Mills.
Boink. It's just like...
A flag had come out on that play against the Stampeders. Still a discussion by the officials right at midfield. Hearing it's against Cam Eccles.
Wow. Yeah, top of your screen, just watch Eccles here. They kind of get into a little hand fight, and there's one right there, and then late, and then there comes, I think that's what the penalty is, so they're still trying to figure it out, but we believe that's the infraction.
We have a 15-yard misconduct penalty against Calgary, number 17. It'll be 15 yards at the end of the play, second down.
Yeah. That is our
Well, again, just when they have a little bit of offensive momentum, too, right?
Yeah, and again, is that on the young quarterback?
No.
No. You know, a lot of things happen out there. Little subtleties, you know, the game. And you can see where the team's not hitting on all cylinders, whether it's discipline or assignment or...
That'll pick up the crowd here at Commonwealth in a 2nd and 24. Bonner looking left, and it's caught too. Philpott. He has it down at around the 42, and not a first down, but much, much closer, only a couple of yards away after a 22-yard pickup.
Yeah, that's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And you see the arm talent there, slides to his left, just giving us a little more vision, a throwing lane. You see it there, and throws a dart right in the hole. And I think any quarterback would like that. Drop 8 or 9, only rush 4. I'm good.
It's a 3rd and 2, down 3 touchdowns, 4th quarter, and yes, they're going for it. Bonner faking to Logan, throws it, completes it, first down. The reliable Reggie Beggleton has that catch.
That's not an easy throw. You're running out of options. You got a small window that's closing fast inside, and you know trouble comes from the inside out that you can't see. And here's Logan as he pushes to his right. The flow of the linebackers are coming, and he finds that little window. Beggleton sees it. Boy, that's a risky throw because you can't see what's coming from inside out.
Beggleton closing in on 100. He's up to 88 yards receiving now. Just under 11 minutes here in the 4th quarter. Bonner, deep look down the left. End zone for Barnes. Broken up by Kai Gray. He was with him stride for stride. And a flag is down back at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal block, hands to the face, Edmonton, number 49. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Flagging Daniel Joseph, one of the new Elks, as Bonner was looking for Burns in the end zone. But they'll move up by penalty and a first down for Calgary.
Yeah, a little help there from Edmonton. Hands to the face right there on the rush. He just pushed Eric Smith with his left hand in his face right to the ground, and that's the penalty, keeping the drive alive.
Right at the 25 now of Edmonton. Here comes Calgary. Peyton Logan. And Noah Curtis had a bear hug on him. He still managed to push away for about 3 or 4 yards for the Stampeders. Second down coming up.
Oh, Curtis was tied for the lead. Edmonton Elks in quarterback sacks with 5 coming to the game. He's been surpassed by Elliott. But, yeah, regardless, you got to stop the run and get to the quarterback, and he's been able to do that. Big body, playing inside, outside, taking up a lot of space, Rod.
Sure does. Down to the 22, 2nd and 7. Calgary needs a touchdown to get back into this game. Bonner looks to the end zone again, nearly intercepted again. Looking for Markin Michelle, but again, the Elks had it well covered, and it was Cordell Jackson who was slow to get up. He's back down again, who nearly had the pick.
Should have had it. Ball was underthrown again. And we're watching this on a regular basis by Logan Bonner. No pressure there. He's got plenty of time, and he just underthrows it. Getting accustomed to what's asked for in game conditions as opposed to practice, and you're going to have these mistakes.
And understandably, we're not seeing Rene Paredes here. It's 3-down football. It's a much longer 3rd down coming up, but they're going to be going for it.
And Eccles wide open too on the play, and I think he made up his mind and got off of number 17, who's made some plays for him today.
Cordell Jackson, who has 3 interceptions this season, nearly had his 4th. He is still down. We'll take a break and be back at Commonwealth in Edmonton. Week 15 coming up next week. Just 3 games starting with Friday Night Football. The Argos losing to the Red Blacks in Ottawa today, and the BC Lions coming off a huge win. They've won back-to-back games now, and they'll be back home at BC Place for that. Red Blacks, another big East Division matchup against Hamilton. Played them once before, won in a walk-off from the Alouettes and the Stampeders. Calgary finishing up here in Montreal, losing for just the second time this season last night. There's Cordell Jackson, Matty, who fell awkwardly trying to intercept that ball in the end zone and is now able to walk it off.
Yeah, that's looking promising. Looked like it was his ankle he had a problem with.
But a change in the secondary for the Elks and a third down gamble. Down 3 touchdowns. Logan Bonner and the Stampeders. Here we go. 4-man rush. Throwing. Intercepted. It's picked off. Nick Anderson got his second interception of the game. And it is a turnover. Another one committed by Calgary. And the 4th interception thrown by young Logan Bonner. Edmonton football deep in their zone. Still up by 3 touchdowns. Well, initially we thought it was an interception. This is a case, Matty, where no interception for Edmonton turns out to be a good thing for field position. We thought Nick Anderson had it on this 3rd down play.
Yeah, take a look at it. I thought he had his hands underneath that, but somehow the man center said no. But we'll take another look at it. Let's see. Yeah, part of the ball just kind of touched the ground.
However,
it turned out better for him.
It does turn out better because they go back to the original line of scrimmage. It's a turnover on down, so they're further up. There's Justin Rankin. He's getting his chance. He's making the most of it. Pushed out of bounds by Julian Hauser. First touch for Rankin, as mentioned, had a 3-touchdown performance a few weeks ago in Hamilton.
Yeah, and he bounces this one outside. Waco's controlling Hauser, playing games with him, and he's got him all locked up. And Rankin says, I'll take the outside. That's just 18 quick ones right there with fresh legs. Leak, Brown, Rankin. This is what good teams do. Control the line of scrimmage late, just make it like it.
Leak is 55 yards, Brown is 67, and 1 carry, 18, and adding to it now is Rankin. Getting some 4th quarter touches. Hungry for some action here as he gets it up near another Edmonton first down.
Had played in 52 minutes, and defense for Calgary's kind of getting long in the tooth. They're tired, sweating, running out of juice, and then they roll that at you, and it's like, oh, man. This is getting tough. They're going to suck it up here defensively. Trying to get a turnover.
Dressing 3 running backs. And Leak and in Brown, it's unconventional, but they got a power running game. They want to get all 3 from action. This is a time where running the football for Edmonton, of course, is very beneficial. Run down that clock, although they're throwing here. It's caught again. Eugene Lewis. They set it up with some big runs. MBT goes deep to 87 again.
Right, I got chills in my body right now. I got goosebumps. And I can watch this all day. Got a talent like that throwing the money. Chino's having a field day. Double move. In stride. DeMar Houston is a great cover corner, but having a really long day with 87 going to work and MDT finding them all over the yard.
46-yard pickup. Another big play to Geno Lewis, who has 6 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown. Elks have really taken charge. Back to the ground. Javon Leak down to the 10. Brandon Dozier tackling him. A flag comes out. You talked about their balance on offense, too. When they can...
Holding Edmonton, number 19, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Curley getting flagged for that, but when they can pound the football on the ground and then set up play action fake and great receiver set for McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
I just love the receiving corps. And then you talk about the 3 running backs and the massive offensive line and the depth at quarterback right now and the belief from both those guys. And the defense is now kicking into gear. You got young guys stepping up off the edge, 3 linebackers that are as good in the business as it gets. And it's coming together for the Elks.
Kevin Brown's a running back now. Rankin is there, and he tried to get it to him. Rankin out of the backfield. Bethel-Thompson was being hit, and that falls incomplete.
Yeah, look at it. climbs the pocket as they rush forward, give him a lane there, and Vowder sees it and closes it quickly, and McLeod can't make the throw across his body. Pays the price. Get another war wound down the left elbow. Just a little something.
Second and 20. Calgary 24. 21-point lead for the Edmonton Elks, looking to improve to 5 and 8. Intercepted, Mike Rose. He could go. He will go. Big Mike Rose. Big fella taking it home for the Calgary Stampeders. And a touchdown. And McLeod Bethel Thompson is down.
Was that after the interception or as he threw the football? Take a look at it. Regardless, that's exactly what the Stamps needed.
Trey Ford warming up and Bethel Thompson walking off now. Here's what happened.
Big time twist up front.
Mike Rose.
That's as long as he's run.
He came in
his career.
Not counting on sprinting down the field, an 84-yard return.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
Mike Alway coming in. And then what happened? Sprinting down afterwards. And this.
His stomach. Like,
yeah, it's an abdominal area. As he goes down, as
maybe
Rose took it in.
Wind knocked out of him, you know, and that hit, and then he's running, and the adrenaline's flowing. He's wait a minute, I can't breathe.
So you see Trey Ford on the left. Bethel Thompson and Edmonton will, of course, on the pick six, be getting the ball back soon. But Mike Rose, that used to getting those quarterback sacks, one of the top defensive tackles in the league, and that's a prize he might not have otherwise expected. He intercepted that ball right there.
Sweet hands.
Taking 41. Calgary needed a touchdown. They got one. They still have a lot of work to do. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter at Commonwealth. Well, there's a look at Trey Ford on the right. McLeod Bethel Thompson was injured on the pick six that he threw to Mike Rose. You saw him pulling up with looked like abdominal pain, Matty, after he took this hit here from Mike Alway.
That's right in the middle section there, and solar plex, and then here I think he just runs out of gas. I think the wind was knocked out of him, and then adrenaline, I got to go after this, and he says no. But then you've got a Trey Ford on the sidelines warming up, hadn't played in weeks, fresh legs, runs a 4-4 against a tired defense.
So you're thinking just for the sake of giving MBT a rest, why not make the switches?
Roll them out there and call the game accordingly.
Onside kick, and didn't go 10 yards. It was close. It would be Calgary ball touched. Now flag is out with Justin McInnes, and it was not far enough when it was touched. It was knocked out by a Stampeder, but got to go the 10.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I just looking at special teams, and you got to be expecting that. I'm not sure that was the case. It was pretty close there. Mario Houston, I think he was right on that 10-yard marker.
I was going to say it is a little closer to 10, isn't it?
10-yard marker.
It was coming down short. Nick Stats lets it bounce.
Out there. He's in.
He tried. You can see him pushing it forward a bit, but it is awfully close.
I think that's Calgary's ball. Nick Stats.
Was an alert play by Stats regardless.
Oh, no.
But now being told that Stampeders had 13 players on the field on that onside kick try by Rene Paredes.
Yeah. We got Mark Killam standing there. Yeah, here we go right off the top. We got 1, 2 up top, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Busted.
Too many players, Calgary. It's a 10-yard penalty, and we're going to re-kick.
Wow.
And no more surprise element on the onside kick either, right?
Mark Killam's in disbelief. Yeah, I think that was a legal touch by Stats, and I think it would have been Calgary's ball, in my opinion.
It was so close, Matty. You're right. It was closer than I initially thought.
And it looked like the Elks weren't anticipating that onside kick.
No, I don't think they were. And you can be sure they'll be ready for it this time. I don't think.
Mark Killen in disbelief on the Calgary Stampeders sideline as their special teams coordinator / assistant head coach. How many of those do you have, Mark Killen?
Just under 6 minutes to go. It is a 2-possession game, although, 14 points. But yeah, we'll never know what the ruling would have been.
That's a big time chewing going on there by Mark Killen.
Special teams coordinator. They're pushed back 10, so Rene Paredes will kick off. This is all after the interception for a touchdown by Mike Rose to get Calgary to within 14, 30-16 game. 5:58 on the clock. Edmonton's still in charge, but just imagine they'll be more prepared if it happened to be a shorter one, which it is not. Then Paredes kicks it deep. Very good under the circumstances. Back to the 15 for Dylan Mitchell, but he has some space. They come down, and he gets up to around the 35, 20-yard return. Trey Ford will come out, as you talked about, in relief of McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
This is interesting, and I would use his speed, his athletic ability here in play calling on Jarius Jackson, head coach, offensive coordinator. I'm making Calgary defend 65 yards width of this field with some options for him. A lot of simple routes, cut the field in half, and use his legs right now.
We talked how Calgary is looking for a spark. Edmonton needed a spark, despite the play of Bethel-Thompson when they put Ford in, came off the bench in a loss to Hamilton, and had 3 touchdown drives in the fourth quarter. And then he was the one that got them going for their first win, and they beat Saskatchewan on the road. They had a victory here against BC, but they got things going, and then he got hurt, and Bethel-Thompson came back on, and they haven't missed a beat since.
Yeah, and change had happened at head coach position, and whatever sparked this football team.
We've offsetting 15-yard misconduct penalties on the previous play, Calgary and Edmonton. We first down Edmonton.
It's been something to behold and to watch this football team come to life and starting to feel like the team that people thought they could be actually come to fruition.
With 2 quarterbacks, they can get the job done. You talk about
that's going across the league right now.
Yeah,
it's just it's a good situation for the CFL.
Here's Trey Ford back in again and handing off. And a good carry by Kevin Brown protecting that football. 2 hands on it. Kobe Williams knocks it out, but another first down on the ground for Edmonton. Trying to start to run this clock down to 5.5 minutes.
Right, and this alone here as you watch Trey Ford hand the ball off here and then just carry out his fake to the right side. That alone there is a different animal than when McLeod Bethel-Thompson does that, because you got to eye that. Because if you let number 2 there get the edge, it's over. And so you're just spreading that defense out. Love the play call.
Up across their 50, but the 52 now in a 1st and 10. 30-16, 5.5 minutes to go.
Little wishbone here. Look at that. 3 backs in the backfield. Big offensive lineman. There he goes.
Takes the handoff and goes the other way. Ford, he's pulled out of bounds.
Yeah, just stretch him. And, those holes are going to be bigger inside. And, this is good play calling. You don't only get you 4 here, but watch what it does to the defense. The defense has got to honor the edge, and if not, you saw Micah Alway crash on the run to Brown, and then Trey says, thank you. Now you put a combination pattern, a little simple pattern out front, give him a run pass option, and you're in good shape. Go to work, wear them out. They're already tired.
So Kevin Brown stays in the backfield alongside Trey Ford.
4-1 formation, Rod, which we saw Logan Bonner deal with early.
Throws it back, and he tends it for Geno Lewis. A little bit high. It goes incomplete. So 3rd and 6, and the punting unit will come on.
Well, you can't handcuff him. You know, he needed to make that throw. Simple slant route and just missed it. Understandable when you hadn't played in weeks.
Well, it was around this time of the game on Labor Day Monday when Peyton Logan took one back all the way to get it close within a score. We could certainly use that again. Low snap again for Julian, who does scoop it up. Wasn't feeling much pressure and was able to get rid of it and get another nice punt. This time not so much for the distance, but for a little further up.
Oh, that's really close. Oh, no. That's now they're marking it at 11.5, Ron.
Okay, just not quite inside the 10. Toronto Argonauts lost today badly in Ottawa. That was all Red Black. BC with a big win in Montreal last night. The Lions at 7-6. And those two teams meet. That's Friday Night Football coming up next Friday, 9:30 Eastern Time. There by Julian, scooping up the snap and getting that punt. Still putting Calgary fairly deep down to the 13. Logan Bonner, he's down again. It's big Noah Curtis coming in, putting the pressure on Bonner. Edmonton with a sack late in this game to push Calgary even deeper into their zone.
Yeah, and he's right here. And this is just straight up, I'm going to bull rush you into the quarterback. Sack to both y'all. Coker takes a ride, and the quarterback pays the price.
Timeout, Calgary.
That's just leverage.
Timer, please.
Put him on skates. Not a good feeling watching that film tomorrow, watching that play. Now, if you're on the other side,
they'll enjoy that. Jason Shivers, defensive coordinator for the Edmonton Elks.
Getting it done. Late. 14-point game. Plenty of time on the clock with 3:48.
Words for Lucius Purifoy has had another good game. 2 interceptions for Purifoy last Monday in the Labor Day Classic, and then one big one to kind of set the tone in this one early.
Yeah, just veteran stepping up. Feels pretty comfortable back there, playing free.
Energetic crowd picking up again on a 2nd and 18. It is caught. It is Philpott, but it is well shy of a first down. And 2 touchdown difference. And a long way to go for the Calgary Stampeders.
Situational football defense. Jason Shivers' crew knows where the sticks are, and they plays that play perfectly. They can throw everything underneath. They got pressure on Bonner late. Had to throw it underneath. Going for it here on 3rd and 14.
3rd and 14 inside their 10 for Logan Bonner. Stampeders. The throw. It is caught around the 20, but not enough. Another turnover. Turnover on downs as Edmonton will take over just outside the Calgary 20.
These situational plays and the team going on a little heater like Edmonton right now, they pay off for them down the road, and you get these stops, understand the situation where the sticks are, you play it properly, it pays dividends for everybody on that defensive side of football, just kind of locking in your belief about knowing how to get the job done. And that's a good-looking stop by Jason Shivers' defense right there.
The Edmonton Elks 3-0-2 away from their 5th win in 6 games. Logan Bonner slowly off to the Calgary bench, but this team, what a turnaround for the green and gold. Reflected in the stands, too, as they had a sellout in the lower bowl. Over 30,000 here. And, yeah, they can start to strut a little bit. This is a dangerous-looking team here in the West Division. On the ground. And the 3-minute warning should be coming up, but Edmonton already in scoring position and in charge right now. Trey Ford in at quarterback for the injured McLeod Bethel Thompson. And Jarius Jackson, his first taste of being a head coach. 4-3 since taking over for Chris Jones, but the chances of making it 5-3 looking awfully good right now. Gino Lewis, big day, almost done. Can almost celebrate after the game too. There he is, Jarius Jackson, taking over on an interim basis, and yeah, look what he's done, especially last 5 games, Matty.
That's just a complete turnaround in a lot of areas that make the difference. And the close games that this team lost early, when they was 0-7, was just incredible.
By the way, Matty, I want to say those stats courtesy our great statistician David Moyer, and we're so pleased to have him back in the booth with us where he belongs after some time away.
Moisty.
To get better, to get healthy again. David, it is great to see you again back here. Here's Trey Ford looking into the end zone. What else has Dave Moyer got going for us here?
The close losses, we talk about it and it appears it's magic. Yeah, we all remember those 4 games in a row lost by field goals. It was just incredible. You win just 3 of
Edmonton
those.
is challenging the previous play.
You're in first place in the West.
The play will be reviewed.
You know, I remember one week in particular when Chris Jones was still there in week 3. They lost in a walk-off field goal in Toronto, and less than a week later lost in a walk-off field goal in BC. And that's part of that 0-7 start.
Yeah, it's just pretty easy call up here, double move, and then they got tangled up deep. He went inside. Didn't anticipate that. Mitchell draws the penalty. Trey Ford looking to bury him here with the deep ball. I love it. The mentality. I love the mentality.
Nico Dotson inserted into the lineup. Some changes in the secondary between the Labor Day Monday game, Matty, and this one here is Dave Dickinson pressing a lot of buttons now. As he said to Ryan Rashog at halftime, they just things are not going their way. They got to figure their way out of this right now, and it's a different sort of challenge for him. I was mentioning earlier all the success he had when he took over as head coach, going to the Grey Cup in 16 and 17, winning it in 18. It's some great teams, and you know.
He's as transparent as coaches get in the Canadian Football League, and you can see the wear and tear on him personally on the sidelines with these losses. And but when we speak to him during the week, he's as transparent as they come, as honest as what he's dealing with, and you know, his team is reeling right now, and he understands that. It's tough for him.
So they're reviewing it, and here's the call from the command center.
After review, we have pass interference, Calgary, number 33. Ball will be placed at the 5-yard line, automatic first down.
Announced by the referee, Justin McInnes. So down 14 and at risk of falling that much further behind at 2:18 on the clock, and mentioning the challenge for Dickinson this season, never missing the playoffs, and with this loss, and it certainly looks that way, fall into last place in the West Division.
That's yeah, you look at Saskatchewan start and what's happened to them lately, and you look at Edmonton start, just in reverse of fortunes. It's a stark contrast. Wonder what they do with Trey Ford here. They're going to spread him out and let him take it off the edge. They're going to hand it off inside.
Handing off. Rankin. He gets his touchdown. Didn't get a touch until the 4th quarter.
Fresh legs.
Fresh legs, the fresh face into the end zone.
Nothing better, just come off the football, double the nose, get up to second level, basically untouched in the end zone. It's a good feeling for those big boys. Those cool ones after this ball game go down a lot easier.
206 rushing yards for the Edmonton Elks. Yes, the three-headed monster. Rank, and of course, Javon Leake and Kevin Brown as well. Brown at 84 yards. point after Boris Beatty.
Beatty's had a good comeback day as well.
He has. Furious Jackson wanted to see that. Said he hadn't lost faith in him. He just wanted to take a break, which he did.
Paredes was pretty good on the other side, as well as Jake Julian and Cody Grace.
Look at Rankin again.
That's
run with
easy
some
right
power.
there. Easy pickings.
Game in Hamilton a few weeks ago, and he was running hard. He got a lot of touches that game and ended up with 3 touchdowns against a nice lift there.
Boyko.
But you talk about all aspects of it.
Richards.
On special teams, too, and Beatty, and the first couple of points.
Sorry, Ron, I'm just rolling with the big boys.
No,
Keep going.
I know. Well, that's good. And that's Logan Bonner. And his first CFL start, 17 of 30 for 219, but 3 interceptions, nearly 4 picked off. But a tough one for him, a tough introduction to the Canadian Football League here in Edmonton.
I was glad to see Dave Dickinson stay with him, because you're not going to learn how to play this game in 60 minutes of football.
A lot of good quarterbacks haven't found it easy necessarily at the beginning, have they?
Yeah. There's not many Ricky Rays that come around, or Warren Moons that come around that just take to it like fish to water. It's a very difficult game without its intricacies to figure out.
But there is stuff, as Dave Dickinson talked about, that they do have to figure out for an organization. There's John Huffnagel, a former head coach and general manager, now advisor in the Calgary organization. But these are times that, a few years ago, they just weren't used to making the playoffs all the time, as they did last year, even though they only won 6 times. But this in particular, this year, has really been tough in an organization that has just been so used to winning for so many years.
Yeah, they took over for, I think, the Elks organization there for a while, and then Winnipeg kind of took over as a flagship, and Calgary's fallen on some tough times here, and I can see it on Dave Dickinson's face, and he's trying to figure it out. It's a tough. I mean, Corey Mason, Saskatchewan. Look what Bobby Dice went through last year. Now look at this year.
Yeah.
Look, Jason Moss got jettisoned out of Saskatchewan a couple years ago and went on an 8-0 run last year, won the Grey Cup, and got off to a tremendous start. He's 10-2 this year. It happens. The difference between winning and losing is minimal in the CFL. Yeah. And these coaches live it, breathe it, eat it. Their families do.
We have 2 misconducts against Edmonton on the play. A 15-yard penalty and a 10-yard penalty. It'll be first down, Calgary.
Well, Jarius Jackson's not going to be happy with that, losing composure late in the ball game.
What jersey number?
Wants to know who? Could be for a little conversation later.
Well, that'll give him something to coach up on. As opposed to W, you're going to have a lot of leverage to coach these guys up hard.
Bonner. It's caught. Beckleton again upended the Edmonton 40 as he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
Yeah, right over the top of Niles Morgan, who got tremendous depth from his middle linebacker position. Watch 45. Depth. Gets his vertical going right there. Nope. Ball's over your head. 22 yards right there for Beckleton.
Marcus Christmas tries to strip it out. Mills, 64 yards rushing in his first game back in well over a month. Christmas, he used to play for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. One of the many changes they've made up front as well in this defense. But everything seems to be clicking right now for the Edmonton Elks. Oh, intercepted. How fitting for Edmonton's defense at the end of this game. And it's Devondrick Bynum, who had 2 picks last week. They're playing some games now, that football, and Morgan slides in, wants to be a part of it too. But yes, 4th pick thrown by Logan Bonner, and
kind of pot hanging back there, baiting a young quarterback. You got this throw, you got this, and no, you don't. I'm gonna go ahead and feather back and get up underneath it, and it's a heck of a grab, high pointing it. pretty clean pocket, just didn't get enough on it again. We've seen that a number of times, and it's not because of arm strength. It's just because he hadn't seen it, and timing's not there. And it's not 53 1/3 like it is in the States. It's 65 yards wide, and makes a difference. He knows that. Talk to him about that.
1:41 on the clock. Edmonton 23. Trey Ford still at quarterback. And they keep running the football, pounding it with Kevin Brown, and a good pickup on first down.
When Trey Ford hands the ball off like that and just goes straight back, I don't think it does anything for the offense, the offensive linemen, and leverage for defenders. I think he needs to continue to push it hard and carry out his fakes, whether he's booting or not. I just think it's important for him to do that, to get in a good habit, because good things will happen for him with his skill set if he does that. There he is. Bynum enjoying that one.
Roderick Bynum.
Not so much on the other side, Rod.
No. Been a long time, 20 years since Calgary was swept in the home and home, first Labor Day and then this Commonwealth rematch. And Kevin Brown barely breaks free, and he gets a first down too. Or close to it, excuse me. He might still be about a yard or two shy. Yeah, he is. Good second effort. So that'll bring Jake Julian on again to punt it away. Mentioning Julian, who actually scored the first 2 points of this game for Edmonton on punt singles. Yeah. And talk about great punters, the Edmonton Elks over the years. I'm wondering, is he this leg? As long as remember the great Hank Olisic, old teammate of yours.
I do.
Way back, he was a 17-year-old, got his start with Edmonton.
Yeah,
out of St. Joseph.
17 he was kicking for the team.
And boy, could he boom it. Hank Olisic had a leg. And a happy 65th birthday for Henry Hank Olisic.
And Dave Cutler gave him his first square toe shoe, so he can figure that out.
But this Jake Julian has been some punter as well. And bobbled a bit by Logan. The flag is out to no yards. And 39 seconds now for Jarius Jackson. He's going to win another. This is 5 in 6 games after an 0-2 start as the interim head coach taking over from Chris Jones. And look at Edmonton in the standings. First of all, look how tight things are. Still, in the second half of the season, it's a 6-point difference with Winnipeg winning today, with BC winning last night. Saskatchewan, they started at 5-1, and they've got some things to figure out. Saskatchewan and Calgary trending down, but look at the Elks now, just 4 points behind the top teams in the West Division.
Yeah, it's, you know, I think BC was up there with the top-notch teams at the beginning of the year, and they've clawed back into it with the arrival of Nathan Rourke and how that team's responded. Now he's gotten back on that horse and is riding once again.
And it really, after it's caught by Beggleton up near midfield, really makes it interesting, Matty. The next couple of games for the Elks. They have the bye next week.
Yeah.
Then their next 2 games are against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They have not faced them yet this season.
Yeah, that's some smash mouth football in our future.
Collectively, those 2 teams started 0-11. 0-4 for Winnipeg, 0-7 for Edmonton. And they both have turned it around so much. Mills the ball carrier there, but the way Edmonton is trending right now, it's like you don't even look at them necessarily where they are in the standings, but 5 wins in 6 games. This is one hot football team.
Yeah, and you hear players, coaches say, trust the process. You know, we're close. And this is what they're talking about. You break through on the other side, and good things happen, and you get on a heater, and you're right back in the race.
Cedric Mills keeping his feet, getting down close. But 8 seconds on the clock. But again, Calgary has work to do. That part is obvious. But I mean, you can't help but be impressed the way the Edmonton Elks are looking right now.
Yeah, Noah Curtis had a big time to doing what happened today and the outcome.
What a wonderful time.
Yeah, this football team's got they're talented. They got championship caliber players on this team. Jarius Jackson, tip of the cap to you for turning around. Jonesy for getting most of these players out here, but Jarius give him a chance to breathe a little bit and
Timer, please.
Find themselves.
8 seconds up.
It's fun to watch. Now, on the other side in Calgary, it's like in Saskatchewan, a few other clubs, it's tough sledding. It's the yin and the yang of pro football.
Well, that's the one, I guess you can't call it a silver lining, but the one thing Calgary and Saskatchewan can look at right now, despite how badly things are going. Jake Maier was benched for this game tonight. Despite how badly it's going, though, they're still not far removed. You saw the standings. They do have 8 points in it, and right now the West Division is so tight, they can just get the things turned around. They can get right back in it again.
Who are you starting next week?
There's your question. Logan Bonner goes the distance in this one.
That's another pick.
Looks to the end zone in a crowd. It's intercepted. That's the 5th interception by the Edmonton Elks. And Bynum, back-to-back games, he has 2. 4 interceptions in 2 games. The Edmonton Elks can start to officially celebrate. This game is final. It ends up being dominated by the Edmonton Elks, who sweep the back-to-back Labor Day and the rematch. And a nice sight there, McLeod Bethel-Thompson. Words of encouragement for Logan Bonner in his first CFL start. The Elks came out, a slow start, but that interception really kind of turned things around, set the momentum Edmonton's way. They had some big plays, Hershey Mayala, Gino Lewis as well. And that one, Tevin Jones, who had such a big day receiving last time. That time it was a carry for a touchdown. Thanks for watching Super Saturday in this triple header. SportsCenter's next with Laura Dykin and Jermaine Franklin.
Come on in. Welcome to SportsCenter. Jermaine Franklin, Laura Dykin here with you. And what a Saturday it was. The U.S. Open Women's Final. Of course, a triple header in CFL football, Laura. And we're going to start with the game we just came out of. Now, the Stamps, they have been struggling for a little while now. Dave Dickinson decided to make a change at quarterback. Logan Bonner in. Was there any difference in the results?
No, there wasn't. Dave Dickinson saying in the Battle of Alberta last week, Labor Day weekend, that the guys just weren't ready to play. That was on the coaches. Not going to be too happy about this one. A different story for the Elks, though, of course. The mascot punter looking for a little fist bump from McLeod Bethel-Thompson's like, no, locked in. And yes, the Stamps looking to avenge that Labor Day loss. Logan Bonner replacing Jake Maier. Bonner making his first CFL start and, picked off in the end zone in the first quarter. Luchez Purifoy with his team-leading 4th interception. Bonner was picked off twice in the first half. Let's go back to Bethel-Thompson now. He threw for almost 500 yards in last week's win. Here in the second quarter, finds Hershey Mayala, who breaks the tackle, goes 60 yards for the touchdown. 10-3 Edmonton on top. Now, new Elks owner Larry Thompson and his wife throwing out some footballs to the fans. Watch where you're going.
What is going on there? Like, really?
Right through the iconic Elks fire truck.
That ain't right.
Into the Stamps bench. You can imagine Calgary wasn't happy about that either. Edmonton driving here before the half. Tevin Jones on the reverse. Gets a couple of blocks from his friends, and he's into the end zone as well. Jones with his 3rd touchdown in the last 2 games. Elks up 23-6. Tough opening half for Dickinson.
13 yards last.
We're in a rut, so let's just keep working hard. We're in a rut, though, and let's be honest, we got to play better. But listen, there's no words. Come on, let's just play, and I still think we got a chance. Let's go out here and do it.
They've lost 3 in a row and 4 of 5 coming into today, and Calgary driving here in the 3rd quarter. Bonner, though, not getting much help. Receiver slips, and that results with another interception. Kai Gray coming up with it. Bonner picked up 5 times in his first CFL start. As we go to the 4th now, the Elks driving here. Bethel-Thompson, Eugene Lewis. We got another touchdown. Bethel-Thompson's 2nd touchdown pass of the game. The Elks picking up right where they left off last week. They're up by 21. Now 6 minutes to go. Edmonton not done yet. It's a rivalry for a reason, but Bethel-Thompson is picked off by Mike Rose, and Rose has eyes for the end zone. A little pick 6 for the Stamps. That makes him feel good.
Every rose has its thorn.
I like it. Smells like a rose, fresh as a rose. Well, unfortunately for the Elks, Bethel-Thompson shaken up on the play. He left the game. Trey Ford took over as, yes, the Elks have now won 5 of their last 6.
Riders Bombers, the 20th edition of the Banjo Bowl. The Bombers have won this matchup 4 straight times as Winnipeg looks to get over 500 for the first time this season. Oh yeah, picking the banjo. We pick it up early in the first with the Bombers up 3. Trevor Harris over the middle. And he's picked off. Tyrell Ford coming away with it for the Bombers. That would lead to a Chris Streveler rushing score. Winnipeg up 10-zip, less than 4 minutes in. But later in the quarter, Harris, he's getting back on track. Second down, he takes a shot, and he finds Samuel Emulus for a gain of 51. And a few plays later, Harris escapes the pocket, buying some time before he finds Keyshawn Johnson. His 4th straight game with a touchdown. Saskatchewan cutting into that Bombers lead into the half, down just 3. Then to the third quarter. Riders, second play for scrimmage. Harris finds a wide open Keon Schaefer-Baker. He avoids a few tackles, zigs, zags. Oh, breaks a tackle, and he finally gets caught. Scampers inside the Bombers' 10, an 81-yard catch and run. Harris would finish the drive. Let's flash back to last week's Labor Day Classic when Zach Collaros was hit up high by Miles Brown. Collaros would have to leave the game and did not return in the Bombers' Week 13 win. Back to Saturday. Chris Streveler, under center, drops back to pass, and it's Miles Brown hitting him down low. Same culprit. Streveler grabbing his knee right away. He would leave the game and did not return. Brown would be penalized for the play. Mike O'Shea had no updates on Streveler post-game. That's tough to see. Let's jump to the 4th with Saskatchewan down 5. Harris and the Riders came up short last week, but a chance to drive the field and play spoiler this time around. Under a minute to play. Harris heaves it towards the sidelines, and it's picked off by Ford for the 2nd time in the game. That would seal it. Mike O'Shea collects his 103rd victory, the most in Bombers franchise history, as Winnipeg captures the Banjo Bowl and moves above 500.
The fact that Mike O'Shea is now the winningest head coach in Bombers history, how much do you, as his players, take ownership and pride in that accomplishment?
Oh, we're proud of him. I'm sure he can't wait for that statue to be built for him over there. Yeah.
Zach mentioned something about the work that's begun on the statue. Any inside information on that?
Well, I know you're pulling my leg.
No, he did say that. He did say that.
Yeah, because he knows he's going to piss me off.
Yes.
His bye week is canceled.
Back to work.
Nice. Argos Red Blacks. Chad Kelly, 1 passing TD compared to 2 picks through 2 games this year. Rough start in the nation's capital here. Second drive of the game, Kelly's pass tipped by Damon Webb, comes down with it and walks in for the pick 6. Kelly's 3rd interception of the season. Toronto 3 points behind Ottawa in the Eastern standings coming in. They needed this one. Kelly's very next play. Yep. Picked off again. This time by Brandon Dandridge. Kelly's throw way off. No chance for the intended receiver, David Ungerer. Toronto came into the game winning their last 5 against Ottawa, but things didn't get any better in the second.
Second of the season for the big man. Cleon Lang, pressure on this time. Kelly has to get it out.
What an afternoon for Webb. Kind of looked like slow motion as he was getting to the end zone, but it was enough. The first Ottawa player ever with 2 pick sixes in 1 game, while Kelly picked off for a 3rd time in 6 possessions, his most since throwing 4 in last year's East Final. Still in the second, Drew Brown finds Andre Miller over the middle. He rumbles in for the 50-yard touchdown. Brown stellar in this one. 30 for 40 with 350 yards and no turnovers, just the 1 TD on the day. Argos down by 28 in the 3rd. Kelly finally gets into the end zone, connecting with Tommy Neild. Ryan Dinwiddie. Oh, feeling it. Trying to fire up his team, but this game belonged to Ottawa. who have been dominant at home compared to previous seasons, undefeated at TD Place this year, still in the third. Kalen LeBourne takes the handoff and goes 33 yards to the house. The Red Blacks remain undefeated at home. They move 5 points clear of Toronto for second in the East. Here's former Argo Adarius Pickett with some strong words after the game.
Hey, we came out, we started early. First play of the game, I hit Chad in the backfield. It looked like he was seeing ghosts from there. He looked just like he did in the East final game. You know what I'm saying?
On the sidelines, I saw you even getting chippy with head coach Ryan Dinwiddie. What was happening there?
Hey, we don't tolerate no disrespect from nobody. At the end of the day, it's love for my teammates over there. But he know, hey, I ain't getting one phone call, you know what I'm saying, in the whole offseason from him. Hey, that's why I left at the end of the day. Love Coach Bob Dice, love Coach B. Miles, man. We holding it down over here right now.
It's about the people skills, you know, LD?
Yeah, buddy.
All right, here's a look at the CFL standings in both the West and East divisions. Winnipeg keeping pace with BC this week, won both their respective games, and they both sit at 7 wins on the season. If the two teams remain tied at the end of the year, the Bombers would win the tiebreaker based on head-to-head record. Let's go to Kate and the panel for more.
Alongside Enoch Mwamba, Jim Barker, Milt Stiegel, and the only triple header on the schedule this season officially in the books. Now, gentlemen, we got to go back and remember all 3 games. It was a very short day of work, so hopefully your memory still works at this point. But Enoch, I need one MVP who stood out.
It's got to be Damon Spidey Webb.
I like it.
For the Ottawa Red Blacks. I mean, he put on a show today. In a rainy game, his hands were sticky. He found the ball every single time, and he was just super physical the whole game as well. Found the ball, found the end zone at that, and especially for a team where Drew Brown didn't really have to do too much because his defense was so dominant. Spidey Webb put on a show, and this is going to be my MVP for today.
Good choice. I'm going to take another defensive back. I bet you could go through the annals of looking for the triple header MVPs. You're never going to hear 2 DBs named.
I like it.
We're going to get another DB. Tyrell Ford from Winnipeg. 2 interceptions. They came after him. He's always in position. 2 interceptions, 2 knockdowns. He's become so comfortable, so confident in what he's doing out there. He's become one of the top defensive backs in this league.
Well, for me, it's all about these Elks. And the big reason they've been able to go on this winning streak and win the game today was that running game. I mean, of course, the main culprits are Javon Leake and Kevin Brown, but everyone chipped in. They were over 200 yards rushing. This is the nucleus of this team right now. Yes, they have 2 great quarterbacks, but it's all about these running backs. Kevin Brown, Javon Leake, Justin Rankin, all these guys can make it happen. It's going to be difficult to keep them on the roster because they're 3 Americans, but if they can, it's going to be difficult to beat them. But I got to give a special honorable mention to their owner, Larry Thompson.
Yes.
Did you see him cruising in the Elkmobile on the Calgary sideline? I'm sure Dave Dickinson is like, look at him.
Look, he's right in the Stampeders. He's right on the sideline of the Stamps, so it was the best part.
That's beautiful. All the other owners in the CFL notice.
Anybody in his way.
Out of my way, Reggie Baggleton. Got to see you later. You know what,
The greatest thing is that those stands are full.
I was just going to say the exact same thing. If I'm a fan and I'm seeing my owner driving the Elkmobile, I actually think it's a fire truck, by the way. I'm loving it, and he's throwing me T-shirts. And you know what? Commonwealth looked amazing.
Yes, looked
so
special.
good on you, Edmonton fans, for showing up again, and they put on a show. And you look at the West now, too, with what's going on with Sask and Calgary. The Elks right back in it as we send it back to SportsCenter.
Speaking of which, McLeod Bethel Thompson forced to leave this game late, but here he is now with Ryan Rashog, and it is new on SC.
McLeod, 37 points from the offense, just a ton of picks from the defense. This seemed like a real total team effort.
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament. I didn't play very good in the first quarter. I didn't play very good in the third quarter. But everybody around me was playing really well. So anytime you put up 37 points, that's a good day. The defense was lights out. Special teams did their part. We're gelling, man. We're gelling at the right time, and it's not even our best ball yet. So it's a good time to get hot, and yeah, it's a complete game for sure.
Really firing on all cylinders this last month and a half. What do you think the biggest difference is within the unit?
Well, we played some pretty good football in the year. The first 5 games, we felt like we should have won every one of them. The bounces didn't go our way, so maybe the bounces are just going our way now. But it's the grit of this team, man. We're building an identity. We love each other. We spend time in the locker room together. We build that culture. Now we just need to execute at a higher level, because as we get into this playoff run, this playoff football in the CFL, it just needs to be a heightened level of execution. So we got a shot. We definitely got a shot.
Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Love you, Aziza.
And sticking with Ryan Rashog, he's with Eugene Lewis, who had 6 receptions, a TD, and 97 yards.
Well, back-to-back sweep here of the Calgary Stampeders. I mean, you've been a member of the Edmonton Elks long enough to know what that can mean. To just describe it.
It's awesome, man. First, I just thank my Lord Jesus Christ for this opportunity today. This is big for us, man. This is huge going into the bye week. You know, we haven't felt like this in a while, and it's just momentum. We just got to keep going, man. We got to understand our situation, keep getting these wins, but keep taking it one game at a time.
Tough to process the emotional swing for this team this year. From your start to where you are now, you're right in the mix and playing like one of the best teams in the league. What's that like to be on that ride?
It's awesome, man. That's what we grind for every day. That's what we practice for. That's what we believe and trust each other each and every time for. But you know, it's not how you start, man. It's how you finish, and it's how you keep progressing and keep getting better as the season goes on. So for us, it's just getting hot at the right time, man. Keep believing in each other and keep making plays when we have an opportunity.
Appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
The Stampeders dropped their 4th straight game tonight. Let's hear from the head coach, Dave Dickinson, new on SC.
Dave, what troubles you the most about this loss?
Well, we're searching for answers, and there's none right now. So, yeah, I mean, coming to work tomorrow, that's all I can ask from the guys. But there's no answers right now, but we got to find some answers. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, just a lot of things that losing teams do, and we did a lot of them.
Do you feel close anywhere?
Not really, no. So that's why the answers aren't there, and we're not improving, so we got to find a way. Either that's different schemes, but whatever it is, we got to find a chance. And we tried some different things, and some guys stepped up and had good games. Others certainly weren't at their best, and same with coaches.
How would you evaluate Logan Bonner's season?
Well, I mean, just same thing. I mean, he's competing hard, but he gave the ball away too much. It's very difficult once you're behind by a lot, but guess what? That's sports. So yeah, I would say you can never win a game with that many turnovers, and certainly came true today.
This kind of thing tests a team. You know, what are you paying attention to right now? You're learning about some guys through this.
Not really. I mean, to me, I need to step back and figure out, you know, what's going to potentially resonate and who's going to listen and who's willing to put in the hard work. I mean, it's not going to change overnight, though. Right now, we're not a good football team. We're not doing a lot of things well, and we're doing very little well. And then, so the key for me is just point it out and you know, try to make sure we're at least working towards something. Small victories. Unfortunately, that's all we can look at right now.
Back to the CFL now. Not a great first start for Logan Bonner. 5 picks in this one as he is new on SC.
The first CFL start you envisioned. Can you evaluate your performance, how you thought it went out there?
Yeah, I thought I was seeing things well, and some balls got away from me, and then some balls that it happens in football, they get tipped or whatever, but can't happen. Can't put the defense in that spot. And, just gotta be better. And that's the only thing I can say right now. I haven't seen the tape, but just gotta be better.
Do you feel like you had some momentum on some of those drives and then maybe just kind of forcing it at the end, or what happened?
Yeah, I thought we had momentum almost every drive. We moved the ball a couple of first downs, and we just got to finish. Like I said, I haven't seen anything. Yeah, most of them were my fault, but I got to do better. That's point blank period.
How much of a test is this for you guys right now to keep positive and keep searching for answers, you know, not to let it get the better of you?
Yeah, it's a tough league. There's ups and downs every game and every week, and you just got to keep fighting. It's tough. Everybody goes through it. I'm sure guys have had bad games before. I mean, that's football, but it's not an excuse. We got to come back ready to work tomorrow.